New era, baby. Hello, everyone. Welcome to After Live, the Collider Live After podcast. As always, I'm your host, Sara. With me, we have Mike.
Yay! I'm here once again for episode 41 of the podcast.
Yes.
Whoop whoop!
And also with us is Shawn, my other co-host.
Yeah, I'm actually here for this one.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's actually here. And we also have a very special guest. We have the former movie trivia Schmodown single champion, a film critic for the LA Online Film Critics Society, co-host of the critically acclaimed podcast and the Canceled Too Soon podcast, William Bibbiani.
Growl, growl, everybody. Growl, growl.
Growl.
Growl, growl.
Thank you so much for joining us. I just wanted to start off and ask, how did you get involved in film, and like where did that love come from?
Well, okay, that goes way back. Probably all the way back to my mom. I mean, obviously I watched a lot of movies when I was a kid, but my mother was really insistent that I learn movies the way I was learning, like, books in English class. So we had like a regimen when I was young, like, okay, you can rent these Spider-Man cartoons, but you also have to watch Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train and Citizen Kane and Mrs. Miniver. And I was like, cool. And I hardly ever watched the Spider-Man cartoons because those other things were so much better. It took me a while to realize that, like, I loved movies so much I wanted to make them my life, but I'd probably figured it out by the time I was in junior high. And I just sort of started studying everything I could. We weren't a well-to-do family, so I wasn't one of those kids who like made a bunch of home movies because we couldn't afford a movie camera. Mm-hmm. So instead I studied movie history and writing, and eventually I applied to a bunch of film schools, and I got into UCLA, where I have a degree in screenwriting, technically. It's also that film school is also where I ended up meeting my wife and partner. So that was pretty cool. But it took me a while to figure out what I needed to do in the industry. I wrote some screenplays. I worked a little bit behind the scenes, and eventually fate sort of stepped in, and the only thing people would pay me to do was write about movies. And so I focused on that, discovered that's kind of what I like doing the most, is being part of the conversation, and helping to educate people about the history of cinema. So I started doing that pretty much full time, and that's been pretty much my whole damn job for the last 10 years.
Okay. So after, figuring out this is what you wanted to do in the industry with talking about movies, obviously you work a lot with Whitney Seibold. How did you two meet?
That is a great question. We were neighbors initially.
Oh, wow.
I was living in an apartment complex. He moved in, and at first, I don't know if any of you guys are in California, but people don't really know each other in their neighborhoods very much over here. It's not like a Hallmark movie where everyone, hangs out and loves each other and spends Christmas together. Like, I've lived in my current apartment complex for, I think, going on 4 years now. I know maybe 2 people by name. So Whitney was just some guy who lived like across from me until one day when it was in the middle of one of our many heat waves, and I had my door open because we couldn't afford air conditioning. And so we were just letting as much air in as possible. And I was playing Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s. And all of a sudden, my neighbor comes in, like Kramer, just sort of bouncing in, yelling, "Is somebody playing Limousine?" And I was playing a track by Limousine, which isn't an actual 80s band. It's a parody 80s band. And from there on, we started talking more and hanging out more. And eventually I found out that not only does he love movies, but, he had his own blog, and he was working in various movie theaters in the area. And eventually I started working full time at a website, and they wanted me to start a podcast, and I needed a co-host. And it seemed like I had a good rapport with Whitney. He was geographically convenient. And what we discovered very, very, very quickly is that we're very good together, and we have similar ideas about film, different tastes, different takes on things, but we connect a lot, and we have a lot of the same passions. And as a result, we now make like half a dozen podcasts together regularly.
Yeah, critically acclaimed up until very recently was on the Schmoes Know podcast feed, and you guys still have the Two Take, right? The Two Take is still on there. Two shot. I look. Sorry, the Two Shot. Yeah, the Two Shot is still on there, but critically acclaimed has been moved over to its own network, and you guys have a bunch of other shows on there as well. What was it like moving that show away from Schmoes Know and like putting it into your own network?
Well, I mean, it was a little unexpected. We had been for a little bit, kind of the only game in town on, the Schmoes Know podcast feed. And then Ryan Snelling took over and they wanted to add a bunch of content, and, critically acclaimed was a little redundant because they wanted to do their own, movie review show and they didn't need both. So we decided to take our Cancel Too Soon podcast feed and turn it into, not unlike Schmoes Know, our own private podcast network. So we would take our show that already existed there, Cancel Too Soon. We review TV shows that lasted one season or less, and we added Critically Acclaimed to the mix. Critically Acclaimed is all of our new release stuff. And then we started sort of piecing off bits of Critically Acclaimed in order to add new content. So we tried to answer as many letters as we could, but we could never catch up. So we were like, hey, let's turn letters into its own show. So now we have a new weekly show on the Critically Acclaimed network called We've Got Mail. And we have a really great, smart, interesting audience that writes us all the time. The last episode of We've Got Mail that we just recorded yesterday, and I think it's already out now, was full of really sort of exciting topics about, like, you know, Alan Moore's opinions on superhero movies. Someone asked us to review every single Friday the 13th film, so we just did that on the fly. It was really, really fun. And then, because people like sort of list content, it's a lot of recommendations in one place. But we take them super seriously and we make really big shows. We decided to do a new monthly podcast, which is decided by our patrons, to just do one giant list of recommendations in one subject. And since it was November, I guess, our patrons decided our first episode should be all our favorite film noirs. So there's like a podcast up now called The Iron List, which has about probably 20 to 30 really great film noir recommendations from past and present. And then, of course, we have our Patreon page where we have a ton of exclusive episodes there for podcasts where we're reviewing every single Star Trek episode, podcasts where we're reviewing every single nominee for Best Picture at the Academy Awards in chronological order, and more besides. So we're very busy, is my point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tons of content. You brought up the Canceled Too Soon podcast, and I wanted to touch on that one too because it's got such a fascinating premise. And I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite show that you guys have covered on there?
Well, there's favorite and then there's best. Probably the best show we've ever covered would be either Tuca and Birdie, which we just did a couple weeks ago on our current. Every year we'd spend a whole month doing covering shows that were only just canceled in the last year. Okay. So Tuca and Birdie is one of the best. Sweet Vicious show on MTV about that completely undermines the whole vigilante genre while also being an incredibly frank and really amazing conversation about sexual assault while also being somehow funny and also incredibly sad. I can't remember ever crying as much at any show we ever reviewed as I did at Sweet Vicious. It's an incredible series and should not have been canceled. But then I also love the weird ones we've discovered. There's a show called Steel Justice, which was about a cop in the future whose dead son haunts a robot dinosaur toy. And the dead cop finds out he has the power to transform little things into big things. So he uses his magical powers to turn his dead son robot dinosaur toy into basically Truckosaurus, and it's just wandering down the streets, eating bad guys and breathing fire. That show's amazing. That was a live action primetime TV show. They tried to make that happen. But probably the weirdest one and the most amazing that I love telling people about is The 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage, which was a Disney television series, and it is not on Disney Plus. I checked.
Oh.
It was about Donald Trump A character based explicitly on Donald Trump in every way. Did they just change the name? Donald Trump buys a haunted mansion in the Caribbean and teams up with the ghost of a rapping black pirate to solve crimes using a sci-fi superboat.
Wow.
That's an actual show that Disney did. It lasted like 7 episodes. They were very proud of it. No one ever talks about it anymore for obvious reasons. It's amazing.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, oh my god. Let's talk about the Schmodown now. It's actually been 3 years since you debuted this year. So, what is your favorite entrance have you done throughout your career and this year?
Oh, geez. I've done a lot of entrances, I'm not gonna lie. Probably my favorite, just because it fulfilled a fantasy of mine, is the MST3K entrance. In my title match against Mark Andreyko, I convinced them to take a public domain film and allow me and Whitney Seibold to do a 2.5 minute riff on a movie, and then the gag is I missed my cue and I need to run in. And I'm a huge MST3K fan. It was very influential to me, and so being able to do that was just a thrill, and I actually really love the way it came out. I think it turned out great. Some people say that entrance is too long. That is the point. That was the gag. It was supposed to be the point. Some people, I loved watching the reaction videos because half of them were like, this is delightful and I never want this to end. And the other half were like, it's too long. It's so long. Get back to the show. I'm happy with that being divisive. As for this season, I've had some really good ones this season. I really love the way the Leonard Maltin entrance came out.
Oh yeah, that one.
I really love the way the Monsters, Inc. entrance came out. However, there's at least one entrance that no one's seen yet. At this point, it's no spoiler to let you know that our next team match is with the Odd Couple. And the kid and I came up with a pretty funny idea for that. And I hope it turns out as good as it was in my head. Because if it does, I think it's going to be, I think it has the potential to be a favorite. I think it's really, really clever, and I don't think anyone's ever done it before. So I'm hoping that will end up being my favorite. But if not, yeah, probably Monsters, Inc. I've been trying to get that one done for like 1.5 years, and it just finally came together because we were one of the first matches of the season, and everyone had a little extra production time, and I had room to film some extra stuff, and Screen Junkies was kind enough to let us come over there and shoot something in the middle of one of their shows, and it was great.
Yeah, what is like the white whale of openings that you really want to do for the Schmodown that you couldn't?
That is an excellent question. I would love to do a step up entrance. Like, that's my fantasy. Like, I want to like recruit
oh my gosh,
a whole team of B-boys or whatever. The problem is, I'm finding enough good dancers and good material for them to dance to. And also the amount of stage we have. In the actual Schmodown studio, there's not like a ton of space for people to do some crazy dance moves and a lot of stuff. Like, we're not seeing the ground a lot of the time. It's a TV studio. There are wires and things, and it might not be safe. So, that's something I really want to do sometime. Maybe if I get like a larger live stage, like, the stage they had in Houston where it was literally in a wrestling arena, that would have been perfect. And if I'd been there, that would have busted my butt trying to put that down. Then I finally had the space necessary to do a huge, crazy dance number, but so far it is not to be.
Is there an entrance that you were working on, but someone else like did it before you were able to?
Not specifically. There was an entrance that I was working on, and I was working really, really, really hard on it. And because of scheduling and timing, and we only had this much time before we could shoot the episode, and before the episode would end up airing, so I couldn't shoot it afterwards, that I ended up not being able to do something I was terribly happy with. The Dan Murrell episode, where I challenged Dan Murrell for the championship this season. You'll notice I did the sort of the cop-out Captain America at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming gag. That was a very last-minute idea because the original plan was to recreate the opening sequence from Siskel and Ebert with me and Whitney Seibold.
Oh, wow.
It would have been really cool. It wouldn't have been terribly complicated, but it would have been time consuming just to get all the footage we needed, and we just didn't have the time. It was just not feasible to do everything we needed to do. And I knew at that point that Critically Acclaimed was, we talked about the storyline and that we knew that we were going to break up soon. That this was probably the last match either of us would play where we were still technically together as a team. And it's a gag that doesn't really work with Brendan because Whitney and I were both film critics. So it's probably my only chance to ever do that one, and so it'll probably never happen. Maybe if they do some sort of anarchy thing and I get paired up with, I don't know, Drew McQueenie or some other professional critic somewhere in the future, I could resurrect that, but that's probably just off the table now. It's probably never going to happen. I'm a little disappointed about that, but that's life.
Well, the draft is coming up next season, so that could be possible.
Possibly, but I got to tell you something. I love working with Brendan. Brendan has actually taught me things about the game that I had never even considered before. He's a very intelligent player. He's a very, very smart competitor. And I hope that by the end of the tournament, he and I are still highly ranked enough that we can stay together, because as good as we were with Critically Acclaimed, I think Shazam is even better, and I'm hoping we can stick together for the long haul here, because I think whether or not we win the competition, I think we could have a real future here.
Oh, okay. You have 2 matches coming up this Spectacular. How are you going to manage that?
Well, there's only one match that's guaranteed at Spectacular. I got my match against Ben, and if I beat Ben, then I get to play Paul Oyama. How I'm going to manage that is I'm going to beat Ben, and then I'm going to play Paul Oyama.
Obviously.
I'm a little confused to people. I saw on the first episode of Schmodown Backstage. It was a great show, really great conversation between Christian Harloff, Ben Bateman, and Mike Kalinowski on the first episode. And when they were talking about their predictions for Spectacular, all of them said Bibbs is going to be like too tired from doing entrances or too tired to beat Paul Oyama. And I'm like, I beat 40 of you in a day.
Yes.
Like everyone at that table except for Christian. Like I beat both of those guys on my feet over the course of like 5 hours. I don't tire easily. Now, I've learned, of course, that on any given Schmo day, anyone can win. You know, I'm not going to take Ben Bateman lightly. I'm not going to take Paul Oyama lightly. Either of them has an opportunity to defeat me if the wheel goes their way, if fate goes their way. What I am confident of is that I have the knowledge to beat them if fate goes my way. If the wheel goes my way, if they don't exclusively ask questions about the 20 films I've never seen, then I should be all right, and I'm feeling very, very confident about it. So my goal is to defeat Ben. We're the opening match. I want to get us off to a good start here. And then I'm basically just going to pace around backstage until I'm ready to take on Paul, and then I'm going to bust out on the stage, and I'm going to take on Paul. And I've seen Paul's matches. I've played along with Paul's matches. If I had Snyder's questions against Paul, I would have beaten Paul. So I think I got what it takes, but we will see. And again, I will never make the mistake of underestimating an opponent ever again. I've done that before. It always bit me in the butt. I will never underestimate an opponent ever again. Both Ben and Paul are excellent competitors, and I respect them, but I'm also going to beat them. At least that's my goal.
Do you have like a pre-show like ritual that you do?
My pre-show ritual is thinking about the entrance, because if I'm thinking about the entrance, that's fun for me. That's play. Then I'm not getting in my own head. Then I'm not thinking about all of this other nonsense and rigmarole going around. And so I'm just like, I just want to make sure this opening bit is entertaining. I can control this. And then once I'm on stage, then it's fun. I love being on stage. I love being in front of an audience. That's freeing for me. I find that very liberating. So my backstage whole gag is to not think about the game too much and just relax and have fun and do stuff that I actually enjoy doing. And then once I'm on stage, just not worry about it and focus on the gameplay and the strategies that I've learned over the last 3 years. It is weird to think that it's been 3 years. That's crazy.
I have
like a. Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
Go, Sarah, because my question is really stupid.
Oh, okay.
I'm still gonna ask it because it's gonna be great. But
do you have like a favorite event, like the free for all or the spectacular?
I have never played an event other than the free for all. So I've never been at a collision. I've never been at a spectacular. I've been in the audience for most, if not all of them, but I've never played any of them. I love both of them, but as you can imagine, I have a special place in my heart for the free for all.
Yes.
A, because I usually destroy at those.
Yeah.
But B, because there's two kinds of like schmoedowns. There's schmoedowns where a little bit of luck and a little bit of strategy come into play, and that's most versions of the game. But in free for all, it's about pure baseline knowledge, and that's where we find out really how much people know. Not how well they play the game, which is very important in 99% of all matches. Not whether they can like focus on certain categories and get lucky with the wheel and keep spinning James Bond over and over again because they know that category so well they are unbeatable if they get that category.
Yeah.
Free for all is where you find out seriously how many movies have you watched. Seriously, how much have you been paying attention to every movie you have ever seen or heard of your entire life? And yeah, there's some people who still just get bad luck with questions. They get knocked out in round one and they're clearly better than that. But there's a reason why after Free for All 3, everyone was talking about Brendan Meyer, even though he'd only played one match and he lost that match. It's because by lasting that long, we knew that that match was an aberration, and clearly the kid knows movies.
So, I have maybe the most important question about the Schmoedown. I think it's something I still think about. It's very important to me. Did Guy ever apologize to you for slamming Bateman through your table?
He never did. Not once. And that is not a stupid question. That is the only question.
Yes.
No. He never apologized for it. I've talked to Ben about it a couple of times, and as we all know, the chair he used to beat up Guy, that was my chair. That was my donation to that match. Yes. So it was my revenge and the revenge of furniture. And as a result, you know, it would be nice if I got an apology from Guy. I would love to one day. I've never played Guy. I've never, except for the free-for-all, I've never played against Guy, like one-on-one or in a teams match. And if we ever do, I plan to just basically kick his butt and just to make it all good. But if that never happens, just through stroke of luck, there are certain people you just, no matter how life goes, you just never seem to end up playing them. I feel vindicated by Ben hitting him with a chair. I feel like we're all pretty cool. I still have my Team Coffee Table t-shirt, and I wear it all the time. I get a lot of weird questions about it when I'm out and about. But I feel fine. I'm almost over it, but whenever people bring it up, yeah, it does reopen the wound.
Oh, sorry about that. So I do want to, break kayfabe for a second. I actually am dying to know the story behind that. Were you just there and they were talking about what they were going to do? And they're like, what if we had a guy put Bateman through a table? And did you just go like, I have the perfect table for this? Like, what is the story to how that actually ended up happening?
I will never tell that story.
God,
I'm so sorry. I would love to tell you the
okay.
whole story. I would love to tell you the whole story. I assure you, the whole story, less interesting than what you have in your head. So I'm just going to let it be mysterious. I'm going to let the legend build.
All right. That's what I'm going with in my head. I'm gonna.
Then that's what it was.
That's what it was. So to switch gears a little bit, we are nearing the end of the year. Because I keep a list of all the movies I've seen, and it's far less than I would have liked to. Do you have any idea how many movies you've seen this year?
That is an excellent question, and I do try to keep a list. It's always incomplete because I always end up forgetting to add something. So let me check it right now. Give me 2 shakes of a duck's whisker.
All right.
It's probably about 150.
Okay, wow.
Holy smokes.
So, although that's like, it's difficult to tell because there's It's difficult to tell because there's a lot of stuff I watch that isn't new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair. And, that number shouldn't be very surprising, all things considered. I don't know if you want to talk about this or if you're saving it towards later in the year, but do you have like a favorite movie of the year right now?
Well, I have a favorite movie of the year, but until I see everything, or at least until the year is over, I cannot confirm that's my pick for the best movie of the year. I can tell you that if I were forced to write my list of the best movies of the year right now, my number one would be Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
Oh, I want to see that so bad.
It's so damn good. And I am a diehard Little Women fan. I'm a fan of the book. I'm a fan of the 90s movie. I'm a fan of the 30s movie. I don't think there's ever been a truly bad, like, major studio adaptation of Little Women. Like, the Elizabeth Taylor version's good. I love it. And I think what Greta Gerwig has done with Little Women, without going into full review mode, is really beautiful and faithful, but also very distinctive and new. And yeah, she had a big bar to cross with me because I love the 90s one so much and I grew up with it. Mm-hmm. This new one might be my favorite.
Wow.
Okay. That is, makes me even more excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
And then I also wanted to know, do you have a most anticipated movie for the rest of the year, for this next month that we have left?
I try not to anticipate movies. As a film critic, I think anticipation is the antithesis of what we do. I think the idea that film discourse and the whole film writing community is built around anticipation for the next Marvel movie, the next Star Wars, or anything like that. I think that is maybe the worst thing we have allowed to happen in the last 20 years, because it has become less about the movies and more about the hype. We are becoming unpaid parts of the studio marketing system. I think it is more important. Whitney Seibold has a great line about this. He says, the time to get excited about a movie is after you've seen it, because then you know it's good. So I find that when you build a lot of anticipation for a film, what you are doing is making a movie in your head and then deciding if the movie you see meets that movie or not. And the movie you're about to see may have nothing to do with that movie. And therefore, you're basically holding it up to an impossible standard. So I try to put anticipation out of my head. I try to be curious about things. Like, I was very curious about Greta Gerwig's Little Women because I'm a fan of the book and other movies. But when all is said and done, I'm not so much anticipating it because, I don't think we should build up movies as much as we do. I think we should talk about the ones that we love after we know we love them, and then by all means hype away because we know what we're talking about. Anyway, that's my take.
No, I love that. I love that take. I think that's great.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have a genre that you're not a fan of?
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan, but I do seem to have trouble getting excited to see documentaries a lot of the time. I respect the medium. There's a lot of documentaries that I love and that I've seen this year and that I thought were really fantastic, but I think the thing that made me fall in love with cinema was its ability to tell sort of fictional narratives, and documentary isn't really about that. It's about capturing footage of reality and then re-editing it to teach a lesson or make a point or convey an argument. And I'm a little more aware of the artifice and what the filmmaker is choosing not to show than I am when they're just telling a story that's important to them that they have created out of whole cloth. But again, that's no disrespect to documentary. Some of my picks for the best movies of the decade are documentaries. But it's pretty rare that I sit down and say, ooh, let's watch a documentary now. I'm probably going to say, let's watch a horror movie or a Christmas movie or something right now.
So, let's move into the game then, Mike. You want to explain the game?
Sure. Rapid Fire is a quick answer and get to know the person game. We have yes or no and short answer questions, so we'll put 4 minutes on the clock. We'll answer you questions, and you answer as quickly as possible.
Sounds simple enough, but I'm sure it's going to get really weird and complicated.
Hopefully not.
No promises.
I have a tendency to make things weird and complicated, so we'll see.
That's okay.
It'll be fun. Okay. We have a list of questions we bank from, and I just want to bring the first one up for me to read off. Okay. Starting the timer. Best licorice, Twizzlers or Red Vine?
God, neither. The ones that are covered in like that weird salt stuff, that's the best.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Earl Grey is probably my favorite overall, but I mostly drink coffee.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Geez, I don't really know. Yeah, I've just made this complicated and weird. I honestly, I'll tell you what it is in the movie world. It's when people say the Ewok movies aren't real Star Wars movies.
Nice.
I don't care if they're canon; they're real movies. Who made them? They count.
Those movies are great.
Those are good. Best Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, or Chris Pratt?
Oh, that's so hard. Chris Evans.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, actually, although I'm not sure I believe in them in some sort of, like, mythological religious sense. I just believe we leave traces of ourselves wherever we go, and they linger long after we're gone.
Wow. That was great.
I like that answer.
Yeah, right? If you could take the place of one person on the Collider crew, who would it be?
Oh. Snyder.
Bacon or sex?
Sex, please.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Both. I never sleep.
Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones.
Worst theater experience?
Oh, that's really, I've never been in a more comfortable chair than I was at the screening of The Last Jedi. It's like one of the most uncomfortable chairs I've ever sat in my entire life. So there's probably a worse experience, but I've never been more physically uncomfortable than when I watched The Last Jedi.
Have you ever talked yourself out of getting a ticket?
No, I've only had a couple of tickets, and every single time I was like, that's fair.
What actor do you wish was a bigger star than they are?
Rebecca Hall, I think she is one of the best actors that we have, and it is absurd that she isn't a major superstar.
What is the most underrated film?
Ever?
Yeah.
First one that comes to your mind.
Okay, well, first one that comes to my mind is probably White House Down, which is clearly better than Olympus Has Fallen in every conceivable way. It's only a matter of time before people realize that that movie is, like, just as good as the Fast and Furious movies with that exact same tone, and that it's idiotic that we rejected it out of hand. It is a wonderful motion picture, and seriously, I'm waiting for the cult to start. I'm waiting for the We Were Too Hard on White House Down to start. I'm waiting. It's only a matter of time.
Perfect.
Do you prefer streaming or physical media?
Physical media, but that doesn't mean I'm against streaming. I just don't think we should be relying on it.
Of the Collider crew, who would you like to punch in the face?
Snyder.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Probably Star Trek, I guess.
Have you seen a UFO?
Probably not.
Alright, and then last question. Who would play you in a biopic about your life?
Oh, which Culkin was in Scream 4? Was it Rory?
Oh, good question.
I think it was Rory. Rory Culkin. If you've ever seen Scream 4, Rory Culkin looks exactly like I looked in high school. Like, it's eerie. He dresses like me. He's got the same hair. Seriously, there are pictures of me in high school that look just like Rory Culkin. So I've just decided that if he's younger than me, that's good. He can get like a head start on stuff. Yeah, Rory Culkin will be playing me in a movie someday.
You were 100% right. It is Rory Culkin.
Yep, Scream 4.
Well, I'm glad I won that Schmodown question. That's great.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's the rapid fire game.
Thank you so much for joining us. Where can the people find you?
I am in so many places. Okay, so where can you find me? I write movie reviews for The Wrap and Bloody Disgusting. I also have a ton of podcasts. If you listen to the Schmoes Know podcast feed, which you should, we are on there every week with a show called The Two Shot, where we review one notorious movie every week and we pair it with one of the best movies ever made. The most recent episode has the Shaquille O'Neal film Kazam, and we have paired that up with the David Bowie film The Man Who Fell to Earth. Also, we have the Critically Acclaimed Network, which is its own podcast feed. We have Critically Acclaimed, the movie review show. We've got Mail, the letters show. We've got the Iron List, which is our monthly list show. We've got Cancel Too Soon, where we review TV shows that lasted one season or less. We've also got a Patreon, patreon.com/critically acclaimed network. And over there, you can vote for episodes of our shows. We have a podcast where we review TV, movies, and miniseries. A podcast where we review every single episode of Star Trek in production order. A podcast where we review every single nominee for Best Picture at the Academy Awards in chronological order. We are doing commentary tracks. We do Google Hangouts. It's a whole thing. So, patreon.com/critically acclaimed network. And also I'm on Twitter at William Bibbiani. And Critically Acclaimed is on Twitter at Critic Acclaim, because Critically Acclaimed was too long for Twitter, apparently.
Damn Twitter.
Well, thank you again so much for joining us. We are going to take a quick break. Shawn will be stepping away, but we will have our producer Josh coming and joining us. Listen to these promos. We'll be right back. Hi everyone, this is Sara, host of Go Get That Rose podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to talking about all things Bachelor Nation. Join Jay Wade, a man in his 40s who is recently new to all things Bachelor Nation, and myself, someone who has been watching passionately for the past 3 years, as we review, share our thoughts on each episode of whatever show is currently on TV, whether that is Bachelor, Bachelorette, or Bachelor in Paradise. We might not even know everyone's names, but we have fun nonetheless. You can find us on Merc with a Movie blog feed wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, Shawn and Wade here to tell you about our new review show following each episode of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian.
Dude, yes, Boba Fett!
Not exactly, Wade. Set in the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi and follows a Mandalorian bounty hunter beyond the reaches of the New Republic.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Did you even watch Return of the Jedi? Never mind. Join us here every week on the Merc with the Movie blog feed. Thank God Kaylin will be here too. I don't think I can handle Wade on my own.
And we're back. Shawn had to step away for a little bit, but he will be back towards the end of the show, and we're going to be answering some caller questions from last week. But right now, we have our producer with us, Josh. Welcome, Josh. I've never been on a show with you. This is weird.
It's great to be here.
He is on here to officially fire me. No, I'm just kidding.
No. This is your formal review.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. Well, Shawn is gone, and I keep saying we need to fire him, but I don't know. I guess
there's a reason that I'm here and he's not.
Just kidding. It's fine. He'll be back. So, Josh, you haven't been on the show since we had the redo, not just us, but I mean, Collider had their redo. What are you thinking of Collider Live 2.0?
Really liking what they're doing. It's got definitely a different vibe from it, and I love what Roxy and Darina have brought to the show so far. And I gotta say, there's a lot more penis and vagina than I thought there would be.
Yeah, they're really going for it.
They're going for that, and just Mark Riley's just sitting there like, okay.
Mark's always like, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable. I mean, what are you gonna, I don't know. I think it's funny. Do you have any favorite guests or like co-hosts that have been on off the top of your head?
I mean, I really did like this week with Adam Carolla. I thought that was actually really, really cool. I'm surprised they've never got him on the show before.
I don't know who he is.
You don't know who Adam Carolla is?
No, I know the name. I recognize the name, but everyone was like freaking out because like, oh my God, it's Adam Carolla. I'm like, I don't know who that is. But I really enjoyed the interview. I mean, they had Lance Reddick and Lance Reddick was separate, sorry. On the Monday show. Mm-hmm. doing something. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, guys. He was promoting something. Right? Am I right? You guys gonna help me out?
He was promoting the Angel Has Fallen.
Yes,
release.
he's the actor.
He's really cool. I really liked him in the John Wick films. So it was really cool to see him come on.
He had now I remember. His interview was very good. He was very relaxed. It was a lot, they were just messing around with him. Like, it was a good interview.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Roxy just being surprised that he hasn't seen all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost and all this other stuff. It's just, and she's like grilling him about seeing stuff. I'm just like, wow, Roxy, you're just really going in on this dude.
Yeah. And him talking about how he didn't like the original, whatever has fallen because he was in White House Down. He's like, I didn't see the other two because I was in there.
Yeah, because the competition, because they're both the same movie, basically.
I haven't seen any of them because I was like, it's the same movie, but I'm interested. He sold me. I'm like, dumb fun. Okay. We also had.
I saw the first one. I saw Olympus Has Fallen, but I haven't seen any of the
Olympus Has Fallen. I was like, DC Has Fallen? That's not what it is.
That's the DC comic version of that movie.
Oh no.
DC Has Fallen.
Too real. But we did have Adam Carolla and his partner Nate Adams. And what I gathered, because I have no idea who this man was, they do documentaries? Is that?
They do now, apparently.
Oh, okay.
He's been doing stuff for a long time.
Okay.
I remember him way back in the day on like Loveline and stuff, and he's been doing all kinds of stuff. I think he was on the Man Show, I believe, way back in the day as well. He's done a lot of stuff. Yeah,
I had no idea, but I was very interested. So they were talking about how they did the documentary on the race that Ford v Ferrari, oh my god, is based on, right?
Yeah. I didn't know that he was doing documentaries, so I'm definitely going to be looking these up, and because he said that they're on Netflix, so I'm going to definitely check these ones out.
Same, yeah.
Ford v Ferrari was amazing, so I'd love to watch that the 24-hour race documentary.
I haven't seen it yet.
You gotta see it. It's so good.
I really want to. So I'm in this position where I'm like, to my husband, I'm like, oh, let's go to the movies, like let's go see these movies, and he's like, I'm not really interested in like any of the movies I want to see by the end of the year. So I'm like, I guess I gotta go see them by myself. But I mean,
movies by myself all the time.
Yeah, I don't. We'll get there eventually. I still have a month before the end of the year. It's fine. We had some great co-hosts this week. So Monday and Tuesday shows were live shows, and then the rest were pre-recorded shows. But they were still great, easy listening. We had John Roca on Monday's show, I believe. What do we think of John?
He's always fun. I love having him on.
Yeah, that episode was good because they're like, Roka's the best in that room. And I was just like, yeah, he's so fun and bubbly in that room.
Yeah, is that when they were making fun of him for the chair, right?
Yeah.
Because he brings in the chair that he wants.
Yep.
That was
the Dr. Claw chair.
What do you mean? He's getting all offended. And then Tuesday's show, which I think was their best show this week, was Maude Garrett, who was hilarious and fit in so well. I was dying. Am I alone?
I like Maude for the most part. She kind of falls in the same category that Sinead does for me, where for the most part,
I also love Sinead.
I like them, but then they'll say certain things that I just want to like say F you to. But I still like them. Wow. But they both do this. I don't know. They both bring out that like these opinions that I'm just like completely opposite on, and really just like it makes me want to just like swear at them. But you know, I still like them both, but they both do that to me.
All right. Well, I really liked her. I hope she comes back.
She used to be on Collider a lot. I don't know what happened. I've heard rumors that her and Christian don't get along very well, and that could be why she's suddenly coming back now that he's not there anymore. I don't know. Don't take my word for that, but that's just rumors that I have heard.
There's quite a few people that
Maude is really cool.
Don't come on anymore. But go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, Maud was. I follow her when with Geek Bomb because she does good interviews, so I knew her from that.
Yeah, I've seen her in a few different things. I think like movie fights. I think she was on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never really like listened to any of her stuff, and I just thought she was really funny. And then Dorian Parks was on an episode.
He's awesome. I love Dorian.
Yeah, he's a year older than me, which is crazy because they're like, oh my God, he's so young. And I'm like, he's like 1 year older than me. So I'm like, I feel you, Dorian, when they're like bringing up all these movies all the time. And that's how I feel here. Me and Shawn. But,
makes me feel old.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's okay.
Youngins.
So before we move on to some entertainment news we had for the week, we just want to mention we did have Bibbiani on earlier, in the show, and their match dropped, the Shazam versus Odd Couple, today, Friday. Right? Or yesterday? Depending on what day we want to say.
Yeah, we're breaking the wall here because we're recording on a Saturday, so, yeah, it dropped yesterday, and he told us a bit about his entrance from that match, and it was pre-taped interview. So, just
just
that.
Dropping all the. Yeah, so if you're confused, he's talking about like it hasn't premiered. That's why
it hasn't premiered when we did the interview. So we just wanted to keep you guys.
Did you guys
on
watch
track.
the match? I know Josh probably watched the match.
Well, Josh,
that's actually something that I'm watching later today.
Oh, I've seen it. You will like the match. You will like it.
I was out of the house pretty much all day yesterday, so
shopping.
Some shopping. I was at my in-laws for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, Josh, if they want to hear your opinions on the Schmodown, where can they go and find that?
Over to Talkin' Schmodown right here on the Merc with Movie Blog podcast feed. Every week I break down the week in Schmodown, and so I'll be talking about the final 3 matches in round 2. So definitely check out Talkin' Schmodown.
I watched the one. Well, I watched the first 10 minutes of the one that. Oh my God, the Paddington 2 versus the family, because everyone on Twitter was freaking out. I've only
in the ending that they're freaking out about.
What, the ending of the match or just the ending?
The ending of the match is the thing that everybody's freaking out about.
I haven't watched Schmodown since July. I need to catch up.
Yeah,
I'll start
definitely
with
watch the whole
team tournament and just go through. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll get there eventually, guys. A lot of holidays coming up.
Get to it. Dear God, don't make it a year since you've seen all the new matches.
So
Jesus.
behind. I don't know why.
They're gonna be, off for about a month, so you'll have plenty of time to catch up.
Plenty of time. Yeah, but then none of that stuff's gonna matter when they have the nuke.
It will, because then you'll understand what's gonna happen, because they talk a lot about things that are gonna happen.
I don't know who some of these new people are.
With the new season, they're doing a draft. All kinds of crazy stuff's gonna happen, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, some crazy stuff that's happening in entertainment news. Nailed it. There is a Michael Jackson biopic in the works, by the producer, right, of the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep, exactly.
Movie. Okay.
Yep.
They had a lot of opinions about this.
A lot. And I want to talk about it for that reason.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike. You start.
Jesus Christ. Roxy, and ever since that dumb documentary came out, because
Get 'em.
So many things got so debunked from that documentary. It's just and people are changed because of that. It's I understand that he did stuff, but you gotta separate the art from the artist. It's just you can't just glump in the personal life. So doing a biopic, you can address it, a bit of it in the movie, but it's all about his rise of stardom. They even did VH1 did a whole miniseries movie on the Jacksons, and it was it was 3 hours long, and it was from his childhood up to early adulthood. At least it was a really good film, and I think they could do a biopic.
Thing is about this one, I've heard that they are not involving the family at all with this movie.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're planning, if you're going to go and do that, if you're going to not bother to include the family, it seems like their plan is to kind of dig a little deeper into the dirt, the stuff that the family wouldn't necessarily approve of. So I feel like it's going to be something far different than that VH1 film.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can imagine like all his solo career up to like Off the Wall, all the way up to, present day maybe until his death. Who knows?
Do you think they'll cover the controversy stuff?
Well, I'm sure they will.
They would have to.
Yeah. The fact that they're leaving the family out of it, I feel like is the reason. That's the reason. I think they want to do that, and they don't want the family getting in the way.
So, do you think it will be a little bit more like Bohemian Rhapsody, where it's just mentioning the songs and like kind of doing songs, or do you think it would be like a full-on musical, like Rocket Man is like a musical?
I feel like they're probably not going to get the rights to the music. So
if the family's not involved.
Yeah, if the family's not involved, I doubt they're going to get the rights to the music.
Huh.
That's true. It probably will come out feeling a little bit more like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Probably.
Because of that, and because I can't, like, Elton John's story kind of lends itself to being a musical adaptation of it, where I'm not sure Michael Jackson's might too, but like Josh said, if they don't have the rights to the music, they're not going to be able to do it. And I don't know if I'd want to see it like a musical like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I love Rocket Man, but I don't think I would want to see the Michael Jackson one done that way.
Yeah, I don't think it fits. I don't think it's the same. I don't know. I think Elton John's just over the top and big, and I think that's why it works. And I don't think Michael Jackson is like that. I think it's
going to be like a true biopic, which is it just shows about his life, basically.
Yeah, and maybe not, because I know a lot of people had problems with Bohemian Rhapsody not being gritty enough, gritty quotation marks, but not feeling glossy over some of his stuff. If the family's not involved, I think the Michael Jackson movie will probably be not like hard to watch, but I mean like what people wanted Bohemian Rhapsody to be like not glossy.
Thing is, who are they going to cast for Michael Jackson? That's my question.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if it's a no name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like that. So I don't know.
Because it also depends on what time you're doing. Like, are you gonna show?
Well, is it gonna be like I don't know if it was on here, but somebody I remember mentioned maybe the possibility of it being similar to Steve Jobs, where it's in like 3 different chunks.
Alex mentioned that on the show.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like later. Yeah.
Doing something like that, or like Moonlight, where it's in different sections, so they have the same character but age, so there's different actors playing it. So they could do something like that. They show some from when he's a kid in the Jackson 5, some when he's in his heyday, and then some when he's in his like crazy period right up to the end.
Yeah. I
definitely see something like that.
I do like, I think Darina kept saying that she wants Tilda Swinton. I would not hate that.
People would throw such a fit, though.
I don't think so.
Well, she a white woman
already did
playing a black man. I really do think that people would.
Well, no, just the after part. Just when he bleaches himself.
But yeah, but his skin may have looked white, but he was still technically a black man.
That's true.
I really do feel like people would throw quite a fit.
I just feel like she has a similar face structure to him older.
Yeah, I think she could do it. I just think.
But I see it. Yeah, I see
people would not like it.
People don't realize that Tilda Swinton was actually in "I'm Not There," which is the Bob Dylan film.
Yes.
And she played Bob Dylan in a span of his life.
Yeah.
Really? So, yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
I didn't see that either, but I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, that's actually a good film if you want to check out her playing a famed musician in a bit of the film. That film's actually interesting because there's different actors playing Bob Dylan during his different parts of his life. So it's kind of like what you were mentioning earlier. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Anything else on this before we move on? Any other thoughts and feelings?
No, I'm sure it'll get done at some point, and
yeah,
I have no idea how it'll turn out, but I'll check it out when it comes out.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds good. Moving on. So oh my god, there's so much DC news. I don't remember all of it, but I just remember
this was
a
crazy.
lot.
There's so much shit going on.
Yeah, so much.
Okay, let's start. Michael B. Jordan wants to be Superman or is looking to be Superman. I don't know.
It's been going around for a while. Like, I
Okay.
think they've been looking at him for quite a while.
Yeah.
He's been interested. I mean, I don't have a problem with it in general. Superman, he's an alien. Doesn't matter really what his skin color is. Again, I know people are going to throw a fit about it because they always do. But I'm curious if they would not do like the main continuity Superman, because, you know, with DC comes with a huge multiverse, and one of the Supermen in that multiverse is a black man. So it's definitely something that they could do if they wanted to go that route. And it would still like keep the door open for like a Henry Cavill to return if so be, because it's a completely different universe. So, I'm just curious, as to what their plan for it is if they do want to go that route.
What about you, Mike? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I mean, but it's just Henry, just like, I'm not hanging a cape up yet. It's just like, at what point are you going to return?
Let it go.
I know they said Black Adam would be like the perfect opportunity to have him pop up in, but
yeah, and they've been talking about that's been a rumor for a long time as well.
Because he was supposed to be in Shazam, right? Like, wasn't he?
I mean, there is a Superman cameo, and it was supposed to be Henry Cavill, but they couldn't come to terms. That was when that whole like, is he or isn't he gonna leave the DCEU thing came around, because they couldn't come to terms on his contract for this. I think they wanted to use that cameo as like one of his contracted appearances or something, and they didn't want to give that up or something. It got kind of crazy, so they just didn't show Superman's face because of that. Yeah. And so even during that time, they were talking about this Black Adam Superman thing that they're talking about now.
Do you think that will actually happen? Like, do you think he'll show up in Black Adam?
It's possible. There's been a lot of support for Henry Cavill as Superman from the fans. And fans can sway things, and we've seen that recently with stuff. And I mean, it's definitely possible. No, at least not yet. We'll see.
You're still not getting the Snyder cut.
You never know what will happen. When HBO Max drops, you never know what will happen. But, I don't know if they can work something out, if they're willing to keep Cavill around. I hope that they are, and I'd love to see him in that one. And then maybe get a Man of Steel 2 eventually. That'd be great.
Does any other of these DC news you want to talk about?
I'm pumped for Green Lantern stuff. I know on HBO Max they announced a series, which I'm excited about, but I really hope that it does lead to an actual film. Because the first film, I'm not a fan of. Green Lantern's my favorite superhero, and they really screwed the pooch on that movie. It had some good visuals, but the story was all over the place, and it just, I don't know. I did not care for it.
I haven't seen the Green Lantern film, so I lucked out on that. I'm willing to check out anything that's coming up that's new, but when it comes to DC, I've seen Superman, the Batman films, so anything that's new here, it's all new to me, period.
So, have you seen Aquaman?
It's on my list. I have yet to see it.
So in other words, you have no idea really what this trench thing is about. I've seen the movie.
See, so it must allude to something, I guess, as a spin-off. So I guess
the movie, and I have no idea.
The big part in the film that takes place in this area, and so that it's what they want to spin off. So I would recommend, if you're interested at all, check it out. If not, hey, so be it.
Yeah.
The other thing on this list that I'm excited about is The Flash. I know there's been a lot of stuff with The Flash. It's like 8 billion directors and writers coming in and coming out. But now that they've got Christina Hodson on as the writer, I'm actually really excited. She did Bumblebee, which I loved. She's doing Birds of Prey, which I'm excited about. And now she's doing this. And she's going to be doing the Batgirl film as well after this. So I'm pretty excited for that. And I hope that, I think Andy Muschietti is the director on it. And I love
as of right now.
Yeah, I love the two It films. So, I'm actually pretty pumped for this, and I hope it actually does finally happen.
If it happens.
I hope.
Just so much like, is it or isn't? I don't know.
Now, whether or not Ezra Miller's it continues to be the Flash, that's another story. I have no idea. They may just scrap that and just go completely new. I don't know.
Do we want Ezra Miller to come back?
I liked him in Justice League. I'd be totally cool with him coming back. It's just a lot of stuff has gone on. He's been at odds with this movie, trying to bring in his own writer with Grant Morrison and do his own script and all this other stuff.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so I don't know. I mean, he is still part of the WB family with Fantastic Beasts, so I doubt that
Huge
flat out dump him for no reason. But I don't know. Part of me wonders if they're kind of waiting out his contract to see if they could just get somebody new.
Because I feel like if they dump him for Flash, he'd probably walk on Fantastic Beast.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because now that they finally greenlit that, and he's a pretty big part, like they've made him a big part of those movies, so they're probably just waiting.
Yeah. They're like, let's just keep writing scripts for this Flash movie. We'll keep him on Fantastic Beasts as long as we can.
As long as we can. Because he's a great, I think he's a great actor.
I think they got 5 movies planned for that Fantastic Beast?
Yeah, we're
series?
on 3. 3's coming. Yeah. We got 2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
So it'll be like 2030 by the time we see a Flash movie.
Oh, yeah. That's insane. That's great. And will anyone really care at that point? Like, I don't know.
It depends on how deep DC goes in
That's true.
10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the Batman, it might be something for the Batman franchise. I mean, they've mentioned that I think they're going to have like an Arkham scene in the film, and that would introduce villains, and that would have a chance for them to spin off the villains into their own films like Joker.
Yeah. That's what, I saw.
Which
I'm
is
okay
a
with
cool
that.
idea.
I'd love to see a great Arkham scene in this movie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because if you're going to cast these big talents and only use them for a little bit of this movie, you have to be thinking long term. Like,
exactly.
They're not going to sign on. I mean, I think Paul Dano and Zoe Kravitz are big stars, but I don't know if a lot of other people, I don't think they're household names. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But they're not nobodies, so.
Yes, I think they're in that sweet spot where like they can't be like, I'm a big star, I'm not going to be in this movie for this little scene and then walk out if I don't get my big movie. Yeah, they're not Jonah Hill.
Get $10 million? Like, no, thank you.
I wish.
Probably has like $10 million, probably would have only had like 15 minutes of screen time, if that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Anything else about DC? We feeling good? Ready to move on?
Just, if you guys, want more DC stuff, head over to my other site, DCComicsNews.com. We cover all the DC stuff over there.
Boom. Go there too. I don't know.
Boom.
All right. Before we move into some of the phone call questions, Thanksgiving was on Thursday. How was everyone's Thanksgiving? Okay. No, I was kidding.
no, it was good.
Fantastic.
Mike had a horrible Thanksgiving.
It was I had to cook everything.
Drop the mashed potatoes all over the floor.
And stuffing was just burnt to a crisp. Everything was just so bad. I had the house fire. It was just like,
Is this
having
true?
A sliced turkey lunch meat sandwich with some American cheese. That's all they had.
No, it's not true. It was fine. It was just a nice family meal. Caught up with a lot of family and had some good food in the process. So it's usually what it is for my family.
Nice. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, it was real good. Went over to the in-laws, me, my wife, and my daughter. It was good. Made lots of great food, watched some movies, and yeah.
Ooh, what did you guys watch?
We wound up watching The Rise of the Guardians, because my daughter loves that movie.
Oh.
And then Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is always a good one.
Of course.
Good. Mine was nice. We just moved about a month ago, so we weren't going to go home for the holidays. So we got together with a lot of my husband's Marine work buddies. So that was interesting. But it was nice. They made smoked ham. Like he put it in like a smoker, and it was fantastic. So I'm okay with that. We went Black Friday shopping on Thursday. What do you guys think about that?
I do it every year. I do it every year.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, don't go shopping on Thanksgiving.
I hate that stores have gotten to the point where they keep opening earlier and earlier on Thursday for it.
Yeah.
Starting their sales earlier. I remember I used to do it when the stores were closed and you had to wait outside in line to get in. You couldn't cash out until 5 a.m. kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it ever since, those kinds of times. Now I think Walmart started doing theirs at 4 p.m. on Thursday, and it's like, that's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stores I know around here opened at 5 p.m. on Thursday.
We waited till after dinner, until after we put our daughter to bed and everything, and then we went out. So
that's what we did.
9 o'clock or something like that when we went. So, and that's like that. I think that's the best time to get out there.
I think Thursday wasn't that bad. A Target was insane. But other places were okay. It was Friday was actual Black Friday, which I was surprised because I thought at that point, people would be in their homes, like they don't want to go out. It was crazy.
Nope. People get nuts on that day. Me and my daughter went and saw Frozen 2 yesterday, and we went to the mall to see it. And the mall was just packed. It took 15 minutes just to find a parking spot. It was ridiculous.
Our mall was insane. It was insane. We were going to go to the movies.
I'm not actually shopping.
No, my husband's like, I don't want to go to the movies. This is crazy. I said, okay. We stayed home. We had friends over and we just watched both of the Neighbors movies because I've never seen them. And then on Thanksgiving, we actually watched Step Brothers. So I was like, that works.
Good comedy choices.
Good comedy. We had Elf on, and our friend was like, we were talking about Step Brothers. And he was like, I've never seen Step Brothers. My husband turns off Elf and puts that on instead. I was like, okay.
Switch.
I was like, that's fine. Mike, do you go Black Friday shopping? Do you brave the crowds? That's a no.
No,
okay.
I don't. No. That's
like nope, not for me.
No. That's stupid. People are getting attacked.
For Black Friday?
Because of shopping.
I didn't get attacked.
I've never had that happen.
Me neither.
I gotta get the low prices. I gotta get my prices low. I gotta buy it now.
Yeah, the tickle me.
That's just so
period.
Yeah, I feel like that's died down quite a bit. It does happen occasionally, but not nearly as prevalent as they used to.
I don't like crowds at all in shopping.
I don't blame you there.
I'm shopping and I'm just like, just leave me alone. Just let me get in my path. Let me get out of here and get me out of your hair. I just do Cyber Monday instead. So
makes sense.
I just get frustrated with shopping and online shopping. I'm just I
like to do small business Saturdays occasionally. If you got a lot of small businesses in your area.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Clever.
So I watched Step Brothers. Josh watched some other movies. What did you watch, Mike?
I was watching Slapsgiving.
I didn't do it this year. Dang it.
How I Met Your Mother, baby.
Oh, bad. I used to just watch all the Thanksgiving episodes.
It's my favorite in the show, just Slapsgiving. Oh my god. More so than Friends.
Sitcoms have some of the best Thanksgiving episodes, whether it's How I Met Your Mother, Friends, New Girl. They all have
the New Girl ones are great.
They all have fantastic Thanksgiving episodes.
Those are my favorite shows. I always forget about the New Girl ones. They're really good.
I love them.
They're really fun.
Is that the one like every season, I think?
They did. They did the one where she was trying to get her parents back together, and then the one where she brought the boyfriend home, and they're
they were trying to thaw a turkey in a dryer.
Yes.
And they broke the dryer. and then they went over to their neighbor's house and found her dead.
That's right. Oh my God.
Good stuff.
I need to watch. I didn't watch any of those shows. I feel so bad. How I Met Your Mother is my favorite show, as I mentioned all the time. Didn't watch any of those episodes. I'm terrible.
Slapsgiving and Slapsgiving 2.
Yeah.
I love both of those.
There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the one they do in the first season. Yeah, it's the first season when Barney is volunteering at the homeless shelter.
Yeah.
This court mandated community service.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you think Lily thinks she's pregnant and she's back home, or she's back with Marshall in Minnesota, and it's like the 13-pound turkey. And they're talking about, she's like, I had a beautiful 13-pound baby. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's right. I love that.
That's the early seasons are great. Like the first season has been fantastic.
So good.
I could talk about that show all day long, and I have, and I continue to will. Is there anything that we're grateful for?
What am I thankful for? Honestly, it may sound cheesy to say it here. I'm thankful for all you guys. I don't have a lot of people that I get to talk to about this kind of stuff out here. Most of the people that I know don't watch any of these types of shows or any of this stuff. So being able to talk and just converse with you guys and everybody who is in these groups that I'm in has been fantastic. And being on the shows has been great, and just being able to discuss Collider stuff and movies and all this stuff has been great. So that's one of the things that I've been the most thankful for lately.
That's awesome. Mike, what about you?
He took mine.
Well,
Damn.
No, I think I said that on the color questions that we covered later on. I did say that too, and because this is a great group of people, and doing this with you guys just has been spectacular. I will say, Collider Live now. I'm thankful for Collider Live, because if I have not discovered it, I couldn't imagine being here. So, and then the entertainment that they've provided with covering stuff that I wouldn't imagine hearing about from them, it just gives new perspective on life for me.
Aww.
Cool.
I mean, I'm thankful for the normal, stuff. Like, very thankful. Me and my husband were apart for 10 months, this year, and we're finally living together. So I'm super thankful for that. But I'm also very thankful, same as you guys, I'm very thankful for the show. I'm thankful for like the little family that we have. We just moved, so I don't have a lot of friends around here, but I don't really feel lonely because I'm able to just connect in with you guys and talk about Collider Live. I don't have any friends to do that, and my husband doesn't watch, so he's just kind of like, oh, that's cool, and he has no idea. But I'm just thankful to find this show and see where it went, and it's been a fun year, and this year, but fun couple of months on this show, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of months. Hopefully, if I pass this review that Josh is doing. Just kidding.
I'm making a checklist right now.
Oh no. He's checking it twice.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go on to, they weren't caller questions, but they were just some questions that they had throughout the episodes this week. Okay, we're gonna start off with a hard one. What is the best movie of the decade? The 2010s decade is coming to a close. What do we think is the best movie? Whoever
tough.
wants to go. I know, it is really hard.
It is tough. And I've been battling ever since you guys put this in the list, trying to figure out what I would choose as the best. And the question really is what do I think is the best, or what is my favorite? Like,
See, that really was the thing too. Yeah, that's the thing too. I think you can divide that if you want to.
Yeah.
When I make my all-time top 10 list of movies, they're not all the best movies.
Yeah.
They're just movies that are my favorite,
Yeah.
So if I'm going favorites, then it's Scott Pilgrim. Because that's like number 3 or 4 on my all-time list.
Yeah.
And it's the only one from this decade that's in that, within those top 4. Best? Man, I don't know. There's so many that it could be, Social Network's great. Inception's great. There's so many. But I guess if I, to just give one, if I'm going to say favorite, I'll go with Scott Pilgrim.
Oh man. You named like all my favorite movies. Oh no. If I have to say best, I think Inception is one of the best, just because of like the technical feat. I would say, with like all the weird different levels, and I don't know. I just remember it was such a big deal when that movie came out.
Yeah, the special effects are great in the movie. The performances are great. The score is great.
Just a
like
solid movie.
The direction and writing is great. Like the cinematography, all of it is like, that's why I think it is one of the best. So like if I'm going best, that might be, at least up there, probably within the top 3, I'd say, of the decade.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite movies, and Social Network is also one of my favorite movies, and that movie is just incredible. The performances are great in that movie, and the score, those, I guess, and that's been a lot of people's answer, has been Social Network, which I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh my God, I feel like, I feel the same. Scott Pilgrim is like my favorite movie.
So good. I love it.
All time. Like, I love that
I feel
movie.
like it gets better every single time I watch it.
It does.
Like the very first time I watched it, I was like, I don't know about this movie. And then I watched it again.
Me
I was
too.
like, yeah, okay, I'm digging this. And then literally every single time that I've watched it, and I've watched it a lot of times now, it gets better and better, and I like it more and more every time.
It does. I'm just checking one. Oh, okay. So scratch that, just so we can change and we can have different movies. My favorite movie would be Perks of Being a Wallflower, which did come out this decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite movies. I think it's fantastic. The same one, I watched it the first time and it like floored me. And then every time I watch it, I just love it more and more. I pick up on more of the story, and I think it's fantastic, and everyone should watch that movie. What about you, Mike?
A lot of the recent ones that pop in my head, I will say John Wick, the trilogy has been really great. I'm picking trilogies because this decade has provided a lot of great trilogies.
John Wick was definitely
John Wick's a great trilogy.
One of the best,
the one I thought of recently, actually,
trilogies of all time. So I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, but then there's also the second trilogy of Mission Impossible with Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout.
Yeah,
those are those are Fallout is. I think Fallout for me, Mission Impossible Fallout is the best. Like by none, because that's like the best Mission Impossible film that has ever.
Insane.
I still think Rogue Nation is my favorite of them, but right behind it is Fallout. So
yeah, I agree. I did not like Rogue Nation the first time I saw it. I don't know.
Same.
I think I was excited, and then I just put it on randomly like a couple months later, and I'm like, this movie is great. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, this is so good.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited to see what happens with the next two coming up here. Yeah. So I'm just like, I love the Mission Impossible franchise, and
yeah, that's a great choice because they keep getting better each movie. Which is crazy.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen.
I know it's one of those franchises that it just keeps getting better with each entry.
I'm sure the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, because they did it too.
Yeah, touche. That's also good.
I haven't seen any of them.
You're killing me. The third one that just came out this year is my favorite of the year.
No, I don't want to cry. My best friend told me when the first one came out, she told me that the main character like dies at the end. And so I just never saw it. He doesn't. I'm not spoiling anything. So I was like, oh, he dies so then when they came out with the second one like a couple years later, I was like, what the heck? Like I thought he died. And she's like, no, I was just messing with you. I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
I was so confused. I was like, how are they making a second one? You told me he died. She's like, no. I was like, wow.
Oh, she prevented you from watching a great movie.
Yeah, and I just never got around to watching it.
Oh my God.
So
horrible.
Blame her.
Definitely check those out, definitely.
Yeah. Any other favorite movies, best movies?
Atomic Blonde.
Ooh.
I still have not seen that one.
Oh, Josh, you got to see that one.
It's good.
it's really good. It's just like John Wick, but it's just with Charlize Theron.
The female John.
It is like the action's there. It's set in the 80s too. It's got a great soundtrack. It's got
the soundtrack
so good.
It's so
it's
Sure, I
one of my
love it. Yeah,
favorites.
it's just it kind of slipped by me when it first came out, and then I just never got around to seeing it. So
it's fun. It's a fun.
Yeah, I like it. I would love to see like a crossover between like Atomic Blonde, John Wick, and then also The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. That's also been a good film. Equalizer 2 is okay, but yeah, those are
I
good.
haven't ever seen that one.
I liked Baby Driver. That was really good.
Yes, I was just thinking that too, man.
And then Won't You Be My Neighbor from last year, the documentary for Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
I haven't watched it.
It was my favorite of the year. It is. I don't think I've ever cried as hard in a movie other than that one.
Have you seen the Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood? Is that what it's called?
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? No, I have not
Beautiful
yet.
Day.
Wonderful Day.
Wonderful Day.
Just wondering.
That's close.
Okay,
No, I have not seen it yet.
I do know who Mr. Rogers is. I'm not too young. So
Okay, good.
I feel like that might have
At least you grew up on PBS
though.
at least.
Oh yeah, we didn't have cable, so I watched PBS. Like that's
There you go.
we just had very basic cable, so I do know who he is. I'm not too young. I don't know if Shawn does though. We'll see. Shawn,
Oh no.
calling you out, Shawn. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so let's try and answer this question. We don't know these people, but it's fine. So they brought up, because of John Roca and his chair, Roxy asked, or someone asked, who they think the most high maintenance person at Collider offices is. I don't know any of these people, but
I agree that I think it's Thad. One of them said Thad.
Thad.
Like, I
Cody said
agree.
that.
I see, yeah.
Yeah,
From
Thad
everything
is
that
the
I've
one.
seen from him, from like the kind of the way he portrays himself on TV talk, I think it's Thad.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
Thad.
like Thad though. Like I really like him on TV.
Yeah.
Talk, so I'm not talking crap, Thad. It's the other. No, I'm
I just do. I think he's the most high maintenance.
It's not
He
a
is.
bad thing.
I could say Jeff as well. Jeff
See that a little
Snyder.
bit,
I
yeah.
think
little
it's
bit.
John.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's John Roca.
Oh yeah, he's for sure.
He
I
has like
just-
a lot of shows. I don't know.
He is.
I just. Okay. So comedy. We talked about movies. Let's talk about some comedies of the decade. Cause they had a list, right? Someone put out a list on Collider.com.
Yes.
I did not read that list.
Yes.
They point out
Yeah.
all kinds. They actually did put out a list yesterday someone put a list of the top 10 movies of the decades. So you can check that out.
I did not-
They put that out yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to find movies that came out this year and I found that list by accident, so it worked out.
There you go.
Some comedies that we love and hate from this deck. Let's do love first.
Comedies that I love. One of my favorites is Easy A. I can
Oh.
watch that literally any day of the week, any time,
Josh.
over and over again. It is
we
the
have the
best.
same movies, man.
Yes.
That is one of my
Oh.
favorite movies. I love Emma Stone. That movie is so good.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
When she's just like, when they're going through like the weekend montage where she's singing that sunshine or that fucking song.
I got a pocket
Yeah.
for the sunshine.
I'm just like, oh my god!
Pocket of
Anytime that
Sunshine.
song
Yeah,
comes
Pocket.
on,
Yeah.
that's all I can picture.
It's so, she's like, ugh, this song sucks. And then she just goes on and on to start singing.
By the end of the weekend, it's her
You think
ringtone on her phone.
Yeah.
It's only like
Yeah.
3 days. Yeah.
Yep.
It's so
And it's
good.
just a little card
Stanley
that
Tucci
plays
is
it.
so funny.
Oh, he's so good in this.
And Patricia Clarkson, I think that's her name.
I think so.
Who plays the mom. Oh my god, their chemistry is so funny. And
Off
when
the
he like
charts.
talks to the little brother and he's like, I know, I'm adopted. And he's like, who told you?
Thomas
so-
Hayden Church gives some of like the best
Oh.
dry humor in
Yeah.
this thing. It's ridiculous.
It's great. It has a lot of heart. And it's also just really funny. Like it's just that really like timeless kind of humor in it too. I think that's some of the stuff you watch certain comedies and you're like, ugh, like we watched Step Brothers, and every time there was something woke, we would go woke. Can't say that anymore. Like, there's a lot of movies like that.
Yeah,
what about you, Mike? Any that you love?
21 Jump Street, for sure. 22
Both
Jump
of
Street is even,
Yeah,
22 Jump Street is even better.
Both of them
I've
are
only seen the first
fantastic.
one.
Oh, man.
They're both great.
I love how they reinvent the show. Like, they mention the show it's based on.
Yeah.
It's like so meta in a way.
Johnny Depp.
And then at the end of they brought it back the original cast, like a few of them at the end of the 21. So it was kind of cool connecting to the show universe with this universe. It was kind of cool. And then end credits of the 22. Oh my god, the credits of 22 Jump Street is so funny, seeing what the movies they would go, what adventures they go on, which I want to see 23 Jump Street now.
I'll be honest, I was really wanting to see that MIB 23. I think they
Me
could have
too.
done a lot of cool stuff with
Me
that.
too.
Yeah, I was really bummed that they didn't.
I know that was a total missed opportunity there with that. I was like, it's a crossover film. It would have been great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I fucking love those.
I haven't seen a lot of these comedies. Is that? I just watched Neighbors last night, and that was really funny.
Neighbors is great. I like Bad Moms quite a bit. That was really good.
Bad Moms Christmas is okay too. That's
yeah, definitely. That was great.
We watched Ted. That was rough.
Yes, another good
Ted.
one.
Oh man, that's not my humor. Like,
The one that everybody seems to say a lot is Bridesmaids, and I honestly have still not seen that
I've never
movie.
seen it.
Wow.
Yeah, it came out at a time, and I was like, oh, fuck Melissa McCarthy, because she was like coming
She
off
got an
of.
Oscar nomination for
She
that,
was
too.
coming off of Gilmore Girls, and I was like, oh, she's trying to be funny. Whatever. She's no Chris Farley. Get out of here with that noise. And like, so I was unwarrantedly bitter about it. And then eventually I saw, I think it was The Heat and then Spy. And I'm like, damn, she's funny. But I just never went back and watched Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Also
Ooh,
haven't seen
yeah.
it.
That is a good one.
I love that one. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that one. I'm just looking through a list right now. I love Hot Tub Time Machine.
I don't know if other people love this movie, but I love The Interview. I think that movie is hilarious.
Oh.
That is a good one.
Yeah, it's
I liked, what was it? This Is the End. That was a good one.
Yes.
You guys
The
see
World's
that?
End.
The World's End. That's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah. We also put on The Campaign the other night too, which I only seen half of that, and it's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. We're the Millers. That's a good one.
Also haven't seen that one.
Damn it!
I missed a lot of comedies.
Well, Pitch Perfect. You like that one?
Yes,
good
I was
one.
going to say that. The first
There
one,
you
I've
go.
only seen the first one, but it's pretty solid. It's a good
The first one's. I love that one.
comedy. And then a good comedy from this year, we'll just bring it in. I just watched Booksmart, and that movie's fantastic.
So good. I just saw a post on Twitter that apparently Roka's girlfriend
Hated
hates
it.
Booksmart, and
What?
I'm like, I can understand maybe you don't like it, but how could you hate Booksmart?
It's
Like,
so good.
that's a strong emotion for this film, and this film is fantastic. I don't understand it.
It was very good. I also watched Late Night. Is that what it was called?
Yep.
Mindy Kaling.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Emma Thompson.
Thompson. Emma
Yeah.
Thompson, yep.
I really liked that movie. The trailer,
Me too.
I hated the trailer. I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good. But it was really good. And kind of, I wouldn't call it a comedy. Like, I didn't laugh. But I'm pretty sure it was sold as a comedy movie. Maybe I just brought
Very
that up.
subtle.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't like gut laughing. Throughout
Yeah,
it, but
I laughed at certain
yeah.
things, but yeah.
The same with like The Big Sick. I wasn't like gut laughing throughout it.
Yeah, that's a really
Except for when he told the 9/11 joke, which is pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah, we're all some good guys.
Oh boy. Yeesh.
That's a very good movie. Some good romantic comedies. What are some worst movies? Comedy movies of this decade.
Movie 43 or whatever the fuck that movie was called.
Oh,
haven't seen
garbage.
it.
Oh.
It's so bad.
That's so bad.
I mean, you've got Hugh Jackman with a set of balls on his chin.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you said that too.
Yeah.
It's forever stuck in my head when I saw it. I was like, damn it, movie.
One of the absolute worst. It's one of my worst films ever. Kind of a film is Jack and Jill.
I was just gonna say that. Oh my god, that movie.
Oh no, That's My Boy is the worst.
I've never seen it.
I didn't mind that one. It's not great, but I didn't mind that one. Jack and Jill is just utter garbage.
I mean, I can agree too. I saw that in theaters too.
Very, very bad.
Yeah, I was fortunate. Yeah.
What was that one with Kate Upton and Alexandra Daddario? Fuck, I can't remember the name of it. Because it also was kind of garbage. I was like, I'll give this one a watch. And
the Other Woman?
No, not that one, because that's the one with Leslie Mann. I haven't watched that one.
But that's also 2014. The Layover.
That's The Layover.
The Layover.
I think I laughed once throughout that entire movie.
I mean,
and it was when they were, I don't know if you ever saw it, but they were like on like a small road trip. And it's literally the only time I laugh. And I'm like, God damn, I'm not laughing at all during this fucking movie.
No, I've never.
Yeah, it was not good.
Did anyone see Baywatch?
I was thinking that in my head. Yeah, it's not the worst. It was trying to do the same thing as 21 Jump Street was trying to do, trying to reinvent a TV show into a comedy. It's the plot is very far fetched for a Baywatch movie.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing for me with comedies. As long as they make me laugh, I give them a pass. You know, because that's what they're there to do. Like the Chips movie. Did you guys watch Chips?
I skipped that one.
Everybody says it's garbage. I'm like, hey, it makes me laugh. I don't know what to tell you. So I enjoy it because it makes me laugh. But that's why I like The Layover, things like that I did not enjoy. Did either of you watch Holmes and Watson?
No.
I
heard that's the worst.
I didn't
movie.
either, and that's what I keep hearing. I'm like, that is so bad. So I'm like,
I kind of want to just because everyone says
one.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
I like Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. I know a lot of people did not like that movie.
I think I saw
the
that
one
one.
with Zac Efron.
Aubrey Plaza in it.
Yeah, and Anna Kendrick, and it's not great, but I was cracking up in the movies. I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't watch enough comedy. I'll change that, guys. I promise.
Maybe you gotta watch more funny movies.
I do. I really do. I think I was in a younger age. As bad as that sounds.
Okay, Shawn.
No.
I feel like that's his excuse all of the time for everything.
Well, my parents are pretty conservative on like what I watched, what I was allowed to watch, and they're not big comedy fans. So I think I just skipped a lot of them because I'm like, oh, these are bad movies. They have bad words in them. But now I'm like, who cares? It's fine. And our last best and worst, let's say, okay, so they put out another list from worst to best comic book movies of the decade. First of all, what do we think of this list that this person put out?
Which writer was it that did this list? Was it Chitwood or was it the other one?
No, it's the other one.
It wasn't Chitwood.
No, Chitwood did the comedies. This one
did the comedies one.
This one was Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny?
Vinny?
I was trying to pronounce his name. I can't pronounce his name.
Wait, was that actually it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Vinny, right?
Yeah, that was actually the one. You pulled it. Yep. Vinny.
Okay, well, the writer was Vinny.
Something.
Vinny something. Sorry.
And, this list was something. I'll say that.
Was it?
This list was something else. Some of these were way too low.
Was it?
From where they were going. I agree with the crew. Some of these were way too low. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So his worst was, oh my god, what was his worst one? Fantastic Four. Fanforstic.
I mean, it would definitely be down there.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it because I heard it was terrible.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think I would actually have it as my worst because I liked most of the movie.
Yeah.
So the fact that I liked most of the movie, I probably wouldn't put it as my worst. You know, so.
They were like, I want to say. And then I'll spoil his best was Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally cool with that being up there.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's definitely, if not my number one, it'd be somewhere within my top 3 probably.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's start with worst. What are the worst comic book movies of the decade?
Green Lantern's definitely one of them. The new Hellboy movie was pretty bad.
Didn't see it.
I think what else came out this year? I'm trying to think. Let me see if I can pull
Yeah,
that list up.
I gotta look it up.
You, Mike.
That's what I was gonna say. Is Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance for Nicolas
I haven't
Cage?
seen that one.
Oh my
I saw
god!
the original, which I
The
dig, is pretty cool, but
Yeah, the first one was okay. This one, the sequel, oh my god, the editing is so janky. Like the editor was just on like speed and the editing's fast. But Nicolas Cage is like, there's a part where he's like, scraping at the door! Just like so crazy, but it's so bad because the story didn't make sense because it involved the devil and like a child prodigy, which could be like, I want to transfer my soul into the young boy. It was so fucked up. It was just like, no, give me another Ghost Rider film, goddammit, not this one. Because I like Ghost Rider.
I would
that one was pretty bad.
Yeah, I would put Suicide Squad pretty low. That movie's a hot mess. I would put Batman v Superman way lower than he did. That movie is a mess.
I mean, the theatrical
sorry.
version, I agree, is a mess, but I do,
I've
just like
always-
Mark Riley, I love the Ultimate cut.
Justice League, I would put maybe towards the bottom.
I didn't mind Justice League. It'd be kind of in the middle for me.
It's alright. Apocalypse, put it down.
I didn't hate that one as much as a lot of people did. I don't know. Maybe I'm too forgiving on these kind of movies. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a lot that I hate.
Yeah, I don't really.
Exactly.
Besides-
I did
Like,
not.
I'm one of the rare people who actually liked Thor: The Dark World more than the first one. Maybe I'm weird, but I am one of those people.
My husband just put that on the other day, and I've never seen it, and I still haven't seen it because I was not paying attention to that movie, so I have no idea what happened. But it didn't look
boy.
bad.
Just liked him, the fact that he was Thor in this. Like, in the first movie, he's really not Thor for the majority of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just a guy. Really, he's strong and all this stuff, but he's really not being Thor throughout most of that movie. And that's why I think I liked the second one. You get more Asgard and all that stuff, and I think that's why I liked it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a fan of Captain Marvel.
Me neither. It was a little too high for me on his list.
Yeah,
Did
it
he have
was.
it on his list?
I don't
22.
know. Maybe 22. I'd put it.
I mean, it's kind of middle. I'd
put
probably
it in the
leave
middle.
right around there. That's right around the middle. It's not in the top 20, so yeah, you know,
True.
I'm fine with that.
That's
Yeah.
I think the fact that Incredibles 2 he has at 34
That's
is
insane.
ridiculous.
That's insane.
That is a travesty right there. Incredibles 2 is better than the first one. I don't care who come at me, internet. I do not care. That movie is great.
I agree with you. I like it better than the first one.
The fact that he's got, like, I liked Venom, but the fact that he's got Venom higher than Incredibles 2, come on, that guy. Come on. Like, what are
I
you
really
doing
like
here?
the Kingsman movies. I like both of them. They would be up a lot higher. I don't think the second one's that bad. I just think people had
No,
expectations.
I actually watched it recently. It was very enjoyable to watch.
Fun. Yeah, it's just a fun movie. And Elton John's in it. It's great. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
the Golden Circle.
The fact that he's got Deadpool 2 higher than Deadpool also kind of...
I know, that was shocking to hear. I was like, what?
No, I like Deadpool 2 better than the first one.
I love Deadpool 2, but the first one I definitely like better.
The first one's definitely way too low on his list, though. I wouldn't put it that low.
Yeah,
I would put it like right next to Deadpool 2.
He's got, in my opinion, he's got Joker way too low as well.
Yeah, I agree. It all depends on what he's ranking them by. Is he ranking them by enjoyability or like actual?
I don't know.
Because quality, even if you didn't like Joker, you would have to. It's a good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
And so is Deadpool. Like Deadpool is good for the budget it was. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like you got to take all kinds of things in consideration.
What are your guys' favorites then of the decade?
Oh God.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That's definitely up there for me.
Good.
Joker would be up there for me as well, along with Winter Soldier.
Of the decade?
Yep.
The decade.
Oh crap.
This decade, yes.
I would say Joker's probably my top 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely Logan is one of them up there for me. Yeah. Endgame is one of them for me.
Again, it all depends on, are you saying like favorite in quality? Because I wouldn't say like
Logan, you want to make your list. I don't know how Vinny made his list, so.
Okay, so like Logan isn't my favorite. I would put it in the top 5. Like it's good. I've only seen it once, just because it's not the easiest movie to watch. And I don't really like the whole him fighting his clone self. Just personally.
That's a comic book movie thing. Like,
yes, I know it is. I just didn't like it.
You're gonna fight the same version of
I was
yourself.
like, are you kidding me?
All of the time.
For me, it kind of took
whether
me
it's
out of it
Iron
a
Man,
bit.
Hulk, Ant-Man, like they all do it.
Well, I didn't Ridiculous. Like it. But yeah, I guess it would.
No, Spider-Verse definitely also.
Yeah, it'd have to be Spider-Verse, Joker, and I don't know, one of the Marvel movies.
I think my top 5 in no particular order would be Spider-Verse, Joker, Logan, Winter Soldier, Endgame would probably be my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would order them, but that's what they would.
I agree. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Boom, there it is.
Boom, there it is. That's our list.
There it is.
What about you, Mike? Do you agree?
Of course.
It's
Always.
Like, fuck no! Ghost Riders number 3!
Ghost Riders.
Nah.
Or Guardians would be, not in my top 5, but Guardians would be up there.
That's definitely top 10. No matter, definitely.
Yeah,
Guardians. Yeah.
Hilarious. It's great. Any other thoughts on, superhero comic book movies, not just superheroes? Nope. Okay, moving on. All right. And they ended Thursday's show with a call from our favorite person. That sounded super sarcastic. I did not mean it to be that sarcastic. I was like, dang, that was really rude. What did he say his, Brad, was it Brad? Right?
Oh.
It was for Rocky Horror, but and the guy's name is Brad.
Brad something from somewhere.
From Denver?
Brad's obviously.
Well, that was great.
Yeah,
so,
anyways.
So Saul prank called in as Brad something from Rocky Horror. And he was like, when are you going to invite Saul on your live stream to Roxy? And she's like, that's a great question. Thanks, caller. But he was still there.
And I was like, did they just hang up on this dude? Cause it's not like he can hear the answer if they did. Cause I mean, it was a pre-tape, so they couldn't have heard the answer until it aired. Yeah.
And then Roxy was like, how did you get Saul on the phone so fast? And he's like, it was me.
Yeah, this was one of his, as I said in our kind of like little notes thing, this is one of his best and also most awkward calls.
Yeah, it was.
Because he's like putting her on the spot and
it was a call.
Roxy was like, I feel like she's trying to be nice, but didn't want to say no, because I feel like she doesn't actually want to have him on the show. I don't know.
Right.
And she was like, I don't know. And then he kept asking, and she was like, you live in New York. How is that going to work? Like, I think that's when she was finally like, knock it off.
And then he was like, I don't want to get in trouble with a certain someone. And he was talking about Christian.
Yeah, it was really odd.
Essentially says it.
Well, yeah.
Someone,
like,
religion, Christian. I was like, what?
That was a nice one. It was like a religion, Christian. Yeah.
It It was so. Is this the first time he's called in the show since?
I think so.
Is it really?
That's what I never heard Saul. I don't listen to caller questions anymore, so I might have missed it, but maybe.
Oh, you skipped the caller questions?
I feel like he might have that first week.
Probably. That probably makes more sense.
Yes.
That was so long ago, I don't really remember.
Yeah.
For real, that was a month ago. Does he... So he was supposed to have a segment on SEN?
Yeah, something. They haven't done anything with him yet. He's called into SEN Live a few times, but...
Oh, he has? I haven't gotten it.
Yeah. Because he just like calls Christian on his cell phone and Christian puts it up to the mic. Because they don't take actual calls.
Yeah.
Right.
They just do the live the chat, and so they have like the Schmobot, which is a little robot that talks when you pay $20, and it'll say whatever the hell you type.
We should get that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah. We'll do our shows live too as well.
Oh, no.
If you ever want to see it go crazy, watch an episode of SEN Live that has Mark Ellis on it, because they go in on him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then the last thing we have in all caps is Josh McCuga is coming back next week. I think for most of the week he said. Someone said.
Yeah. So we'll see Josh, our boy Josh. The other boy Josh, not this Josh, the other boy.
I hope that he's got an update for whatever the hell he's doing.
Yes, I was just going to say that. I want to know what he's doing, because I want to know if I was right
that it's that fucking happy hour show, because that's what I want it to be.
Yeah,
that's what I want it to be.
That's what
because it was good. I don't know if you guys ever watched it they only aired one episode, and it was really good. And I was like, shit, why didn't this come back? We only got that one episode.
Yeah.
I wonder.
We'll have to find out next week.
We'll find out next week on Collider Live. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, Josh, where can the people find you?
You can head on over to Twitter. You can do my personal Twitter. It's JP Raynor. It's JPRAYNOR. Or you just follow me everywhere. Merc with Movie Blog, Facebook and YouTube, and then on Instagram and Twitter at Merc, Movie Blog Merc. I do all kinds of posts there. I'm going to be revamping the site coming up soon. We're going to pump out all kinds of new stuff in the new year. So it's going to be good. So keep an eye out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to see that review later. Hopefully I'll be here next week talking all with you guys. We'll see. We'll be right back after this break, and Shawn will be joining us as well.
Hey there, Schmodown fans. This is Josh the Merc Raynor, and I am here to tell you about my show, Talkin' Schmodown. Whether it's Andrew Guy getting hit with a chair, John Roca screaming, outlaw, or the emotional retirement of the Shire Wolf, I talk about it all. So you can catch me right here on Anchor and all the other major podcasting platforms. So, as I ask every episode, are you ready to talk Schmodown? I am.
Hello everybody, Jay Wade
and Kaylin here
to tell you about SEN Afterlive.
It's an after-show podcast where we expand on the week of craziness on SEN Live, as well as have guests on to join in the fun.
Yep, and we get personal too. We do movie reviews, and at times we go way off the rails, which I guarantee is always Kaylin's fault.
Hey, how rude and not true. So, come join us on the Merc with the Movie Blog feed, and remember to rate, share, and subscribe, and as always, enjoy.
Okay, we're back from break. We're going to cover some of the caller questions from last week's show that we weren't able to fit in. So we'll just start off. Favorite fictional band from a film, which is a little difficult for me.
Lemonade Mouth.
Are you serious?
It was the best answer I could come up with.
Are you serious, man?
It's a great band. What are you talking about?
I've never seen. That's
You've
the Disney
never
movie,
seen
right?
Lemonade Mouth?
That's a Disney Channel movie.
Sarah, how old are you?
I am 23.
Yeah, so you're only a couple years older than me. You should have seen Lemonade Mouth.
I didn't have Disney Channel.
What is wrong with you?
Cable.
Oh
my parents
my god!
had basic cable. So
Well,
not my fault.
Has Disney not bought cable yet? What do you mean?
Well, they have now.
They have
Well,
now.
now they got Disney Plus, so you can check it out if you want.
Watch Lemonade
Okay.
Mouth on
Okay,
Disney
I'll
Plus.
watch it.
Amazing.
There you go.
God.
But that's your answer?
That's I can't really think. Oh, fictional band. There was a Bohemian Rhapsody came out. That Queen
No.
band. That would have been real
It's
cool
not-
if they did.
That's
my
not
God.
fictional.
Okay,
Shut
Mike.
up.
What about you, Mike?
What was interesting, because I remember this from last week, is Sing Street. Sing Street is still a great movie, and they make a fictional band called Sing Street, and they have actually really good songs in that film. Really good
Also,
music.
haven't seen it still.
Still have to see
not
it, guys.
seen it.
You have to
Later.
check it out. It was 3 years ago, people. Come on, watch Sing Street.
I don't know why I haven't seen it. It's totally up my alley. I just haven't
It is.
gotten there.
It's so good.
My fictional band is the Sex Bombs from Scott Pilgrim.
Touche.
Why are you laughing?
I guess I've never seen Scott Pilgrim, so the name caught me off guard.
What?
Will you stop
serious?
that?
That is my favorite movie.
Hey guys, how was the farewell?
No, Scott Pilgrim has
Hey, guys,
been
how was
out
Jojo
for a
Rabbit?
long time.
How was
Scott
Puerto
Hey,
Pilgrim
Rico?
has
we're
been
not
out-
talking about
How was
2019
Parasite?
films. We're not talking about 2019 films, Shawn. We're
All
talking
right,
about.
let's go to 2017. Let's go to
That movie
2017
came out
or
in like
2018.
2009 or 10.
Let's go to 2018. How was Colette?
I
Can
don't even
you
know
watch?
what that is.
Can you watch friggin' Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? Come on, dude.
No.
It's Edgar Wright.
old.
It's Edgar Wright.
I know.
Old.
To be fair, I've seen his other
Do you
movies.
not watch old movies?
No, I do watch old movies. I'm just giving you guys a hard time.
It's not even that
I
old.
know you are.
I know
It is an
you're-
old movie. It's an old movie.
It's a good movie.
It's not his best movie. His best movie is Baby Driver, and that's a fact.
No, it is
Baby,
not.
what do you mean?
No, it is
Baby
not.
Driver is easily his best
Scott
movie.
Pilgrim is his best movie.
Have you
like-
seen Baby Driver, Sarah?
Yes, I have. I love Baby Driver. It's
Baby
fantastic.
Driver's the
It is
best
not his
movie.
best
It's so
It's
good.
not his best movie. No.
It is his best movie.
No, it's not. You haven't even seen
It
Scott
is.
Pilgrim. How can you say
I just know.
Have you
You
seen
don't know.
his other movies?
Yeah, I've seen World's End. I've seen
Eh.
Hot Fuzz. I haven't seen Shaun of the Dead.
Me neither.
God damn it, you two.
World's End is my second favorite of his movies. Though.
I do like
I
World's
really
End.
like. I really like World's End.
I like
Hot Fuzz. I didn't love as much as a lot.
I
Yeah.
It
love
was
Hot
fine.
Fuzz. Oh
Edgar
my
Wright
God.
is a great director regardless,
Yeah.
so.
Yes,
Yes. But you're wrong, Sean. I'm going to
Scott Pilgrim isn't as good as you think it is.
Yes, it is.
People
It's-
need to understand that
No.
Detective Pikachu and Scott Pilgrim are both over.
He's bringing
We're
this up
still-
again a week
we're
later.
Guys, still doing this, guys. Shut up about
Okay, well,
Shit,
moving
God.
on from fictional bands. What is our favorite movie scores?
Star
Or
Wars,
TV. I'll
the-
put-
oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. No, go on.
He said Star. You said Star Wars. That's your favorite.
Yes, Star Wars: The Last Jedi specifically. A New Alliance is one of the best tracks in Star Wars, and it plays the asteroid field theme when they're flying through the planet inside Crate. For TV though, Game of Thrones, that Ramin Djawadi did a fantastic job, and I went to go see, they played the music live in concert recently, and
Yes.
it was like, with scenes from the show playing, including season 8. And I went and saw that, and that was awesome. Yes. It made season 8 tolerable.
Mm. Do you have like a favorite? Can you pick out like a favorite like theme from Game of Thrones?
I really liked when they arrive at Winterfell. Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. Can I stop now?
Yeah, you can stop. now.
Okay, cool.
I really like the is it the piano one when she's burning up the sept
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
I think
The Night King.
a lot of people like. Yes, the Night King.
The Night King theme that played in season 8 was that piano.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome too.
Yes. What about you, Mike? I got so tired.
You're always tired, that's the thing.
Yeah, you gotta wake up. High energy. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay,
At
Mike.
least
What about
pretend
you?
that you have high
What's
energy.
your favorite score?
Oh my god! I've been listening I've been watching television as well, so
Okay.
to the *Halt and Catch Fire* soundtrack. If you're not watching *Halt*, oh my god,
What is
people!
that?
*Halt and Catch Fire* is an
At least I know
AMC
what
show.
it is. Yes.
It's an AMC show about 80s computering.
Is it really?
Yes.
You want to know what I thought it was
Personal
about?
computing. Firefighters?
Yes.
My god, I'm the old fart in this group. Jesus
This
Christ.
whole,
What do you mean? It aired in 2014. Get out
Josh
of here.
Makuga talks about it all the time.
I know, that's why I'm watching it again, because it's so damn good. And the soundtrack is so, so
Who's the
damn
girl?
delicious.
Oh, the girl that was in Terminator.
Mackenzie
She was from-
Davis.
Yeah.
Yes, Mackenzie Davis. That's,
Oh, Scoot McNairy's on here. He was great in True Detective.
yeah. Yeah, the show's great, and like I said, the score, it has that like the 80s vibe to it, and it's like, that's what I love. Blade Runner 2049 is another great one. Blade Runner as well by Vangelis, that's another great score. Maybe another one that a lot of people don't talk about, because I'm a Turtles fan, is the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles score. Is really great. Actually, if you guys want to, the score is actually available for the first time on CD, so you guys can pick that up. Just search in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 score by Wax Records or something. They had it on vinyl for a while, doing a CD deal right now, so I'm getting it on CD.
Mike, do you still listen to stuff on CD?
Yes, I do.
What decade do you live in? I'm so curious about Mike's life, because I feel like he lives in a bubble that's 10 years behind the rest of
Yes.
He's like, yeah, you're right. Also, talking about TV shows, The Newsroom has a great score as well. That's also a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Newsroom.
So I'm gonna list off mine. So obviously I'm gonna do the super obvious ones. Harry Potter,
Yes.
Lord of the Rings.
Wait. Harry Potter, which score? Because
Okay, so-
they change.
Yes. Well, obviously like the John Williams,
Yeah.
Hedwig's theme, all that stuff. But I was actually listening to some themes, whatever, today, and I really like the fireworks one from
Yes.
oh my god, Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Is great. That Order of Phoenix has a really good, because I don't know if that's when they changed, but I think that's when that composer first came on, I believe.
And the scene where they're flying through London at the very beginning.
Yeah, it's great.
Nicholas Hooper.
Yes.
And he went on to do it for, I believe, Half-Blood Prince as well, but I do not think he did 7 Part 1 and Part 2. I think Alexander Desplat did Part 1 and Part 2.
Which it's good. It's kind of eerie, or it's the scores change as the kids grow up, which I appreciate and really like that. I also love the Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes. Which is Hans Zimmer, I believe, is
sounds right.
Yep.
First, me and my husband just watched the first Pirates of the Caribbean again last night. And it's great. The music is fantastic, but some underrated, I guess. I don't know if they're underrated. I love the Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. I love that. So Hans Zimmer, great. And Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, great score. And then this one's for Kaylin out there. The Downton Abbey theme is fantastic. It's great. That movie is on my top 10, just letting you guys know. Fantastic. What do you guys have, like, a favorite TV opening? Like,
ooh.
Doctor Who's real good.
Yeah, Doctor Who's good, for sure.
You know what else is real good, Mike? Mike, you know what else is real good?
Yeah.
There's a light in the distance. See them coming
closer.
With the force of ages. Centuries gone
by.
Protectors of the right.
Is this
Defend this one to fight. Power Rangers.
Yeah.
No, wait, I fucked it up. All right. Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder is a great... The Power Ranger themes are on point, but Dino Thunder is really epic.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I really like all the HBO opening theme, of course.
They do a good job.
The Westworld one is like super catchy.
I have to watch Westworld.
Succession. Oh, so good.
I have to watch Succession.
Succession is so good.
I know.
They talk about it all the time on the show.
They do.
It's
everywhere else.
It's so good. It's really relevant. That's the obvious thing that people can say. The Mandalorian score is
it's so good.
Incredible. And I really like the Black Panther score, and it's the same guy, I believe, and he won the Oscar for it, so it's really good.
Yeah, there you go.
Just saying.
Those connections.
Those connections, baby. What about you, Mike? Do you have a TV opening?
Just had it. I'm a sucker for Stranger Things.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That synth
so good.
Score. Oh, man. Exit the soundtrack for Stranger Things. Pretty good, too. Of course, I'm old school for all the classic themes for TV shows, like from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, as example.
The Fresh Prince is awesome.
I thought you were going to say, like, All in the Family. Or...
I'm not going to let anybody slander this real quick. I'm about to say, the Full House theme
is great. I love
it.
Now, the Fuller House with Carly Rae Jepsen is trash.
Is it? I've never watched Fuller House.
Whatever happened to
Yeah. Well, guess what?
Evening TV.
Yeah, those
channel shows openings.
Yeah. That too.
Which is the way we play
Vacation.
Phineas and Ferb. Yep. Fantastic. Anything else? Any other favorites?
The Flash has a really good theme.
Don't watch.
No.
No. Man.
Riverdale has a great. No, I'm just kidding.
I've never watched.
No, Riverdale does not have. That's not a good.
Me and my husband are catching up on Riverdale. It's a hot mess, guys.
It is.
A series of unfortunate events had a great theme.
There you go.
Look away.
Couldn't get into it.
Oh, it's so good, Sarah. I read the books as a kid, so like
I couldn't deal with Neil Patrick Harris's overacting.
He's so good in it. I love it. That's the point.
I know, but
the point is he's insufferable.
On How I Met Your Mother, and like when he was overacting, I was like, oh my gosh! And then that whole show was him overacting, and I'm like,
because he's Count Olaf.
I know, but I like Jim Carrey. I like that movie.
Wait! He's also overacting in that movie.
Yeah, but I just don't like. I just don't like Neil Patrick Harris overacting. I don't know.
Mike, what was that?
Mike's left the building.
Mike just got carried off by aliens. That was him singing as the beam picked him up and carried him away.
Okay, well, moving on. We'll see if Mike ever comes back. I don't know.
All right.
Okay. I haven't thought about this question. So if you could go to any restaurant in any movie, or I'm adding TV show, what would it be?
I'm about to make you kind of happy, probably.
The bar and
or the movie. I actually was thinking about that for the TV show, but for the movie,
that's mine.
For the movie, Dex's Diner from Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
that place is awesome. That movie is not very good, but
there's a
diner is so cool. Yeah, that's. What do you know,
so
Mr. Kenobi?
Random.
It's so good. Camino in the Outer Rim. I love Dex.
That's so random.
What do you mean random? Why do you always insult me?
No, it's just random that there's a diner in Star Wars. Like, I'm not thinking.
Wait, hang on. Where do they eat?
I don't know. I don't think about them eating.
Why not? They're people. They have to eat.
They're people.
There's Mike.
Oh, the 3 broomsticks from Harry Potter.
Oh yes,
got it.
Leaky Cauldron.
The Leaky Cauldron. Yes, that was the other one. Anything in Harry Potter.
Anything in Harry Potter. The Great Hall.
Or anywhere in. Yeah, I want to get to the Great Hall. Anywhere in the Shire, because I feel like I have to bring up Lord of the Rings. So take me to. What is it? The Dancing Pony. The Prancing Pony.
Prancing Pony, I think. You would know better than I. I don't know Lord of the Rings very well.
What about you, Mike? Do you have a restaurant in a movie or TV show?
Big Kahuna Burger from Pulp Fiction.
Yes, I agree.
Fair.
Is that the one where she does the dancing? I've
No,
never
that's
seen I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
that's shit. You're making me touch my knowledge now.
I want to go there.
That's I can't think of the name of it.
Fa fu fa fe. You heard it.
No,
all right.
no,
Well,
wait, no, sir. Wait, let me get this. Let me get this.
Animated he's ever been. Ever. He doesn't even get this animated on Into the Grave.
Let me get this. Hold on.
Are you looking it up, or are you just
Yes, hold on. Give me.
Oh, okay.
No. I
have a TV one. I want to go to the place that Iroh opens up in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the little tea shop, because I love it.
Sarah, are you an Avatar fan?
Yes, I am.
Why haven't we not talked about this yet?
I'm in the middle of watching Korra right now.
Oh,
I'm on the
Korra's
final
so
season.
good. It's
Yes,
so
it
good.
is.
It took me so long to watch it because I kept putting it, I'm like, it's not Avatar. It's
No,
not.
it's really good.
Nobody, but it's so good. It's,
Yeah.
oh man.
No, so my husband's, that's his favorite show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's
I watched it
a good
little
choice.
bit growing up, but I kind of missed it because I didn't have cable. So he sat me down. He's like, "We're watching this show," and we watched it, and I fell in love with it, and I got very upset when it ended because I miss all the characters. And I constantly cry about Momo and Appa. They're my favorite
Oh,
people. in
Appa's
the world.
Last Days.
Oh my god! So that episode, I had a meltdown, like a legit melt. The episode before that one is like the 4 different vignettes or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's Momo, and he's like,
Tales from Ba Sing Se.
Yes, and it's Momo's like curled up in Appa's like footprint.
Oh.
I lost my mind. I started sobbing, and my husband's looking at me, and I'm crying, and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I just am sobbing, Momo fell asleep in the footprint, and he's like, "What?
What?
Yeah, it's really bad. So now every time I see cute animals or cute things, Mandalorian, it's a mess right now. I just lose my mind. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I found it.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, tangent.
It's Jack Rabbit Slims in Pulp Fiction, where you get the $5 shakes.
Yes, I want to go there.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes. Took me forever.
Any other dream places? Restaurants?
You know what? Never mind. You guys won't get that.
How do you know?
Mike might, because I just discovered, I think that Mike likes Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, no.
It was, the place that in Kingdom Hearts 3, Uncle Scrooge opened up with Ratatouille.
Oh!
Yeah, I want to go there.
Yeah, I want to go to the place, the Ratatouille place.
With Uncle Scrooge?
No, I want in Ratatouille.
Oh, in Ratatouille.
I want to go
that place too.
I've also never seen Ratatouille, so I don't
You've never seen Ratatouille? I just took my headset off. I'm so mad right now.
Guys, my husband already yelled at me for that tonight.
You've seen WALL-E, right?
You've never seen Ratatouille? I've seen what?
WALL-E?
No.
Sarah, what are you doing?
I got yelled at for that one too.
Okay, but Inside Out, right?
I'm halfway through Inside Out.
God damn it!
I also had a meltdown watching that one, so I had to stop.
That's also one of my favorite movies. Score back, the piano, Michael Giacchino or whatever. He's great.
Anyway, moving on before we talk more about my meltdowns in all movies.
I'm so mad at you.
What is our last question of the night? Oh my gosh, what is a remake that is better than the original?
Mine is super controversial, so I'm gonna go last.
Okay. Caveat, I have not seen a lot of the original movies or the remakes, so fun. Mike, go ahead.
Oh dear Christ. You guys are really bad with that.
Okay, I have one.
I have one, I just don't want to say it first.
Of course you guys have it. Just,
Alright, okay, I'll go first. Whatever.
I can type it to you.
Okay, so mine is all the Disney movies that are being remade. I think. Huh? I'm not saying that those are better. I'm just saying those are my Whatever. Okay, out of all the Disney live action,
Oh.
out
Okay.
of the ones that have been made, I think The Jungle Book is the best one. And
Okay.
I love
Yeah,
the original Jungle
I agree.
Book. But I think I think the new one's better than the original.
Fair
I
enough.
can't
I
say that
agree.
for the other ones. But go ahead, Mike, your turn.
You know what? I'm gonna keep going when I said the previous weeks before. Lion King is
Okay, Shawn, you're up.
Are you serious, Mike?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was
I'm
gonna
kidding.
cancel Into the Grave.
You said that was your number one, right?
I
Of the
was
year?
so far, but not overall.
So much.
That's why I want
Watch
to poke.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Do you like
Yes.
Aladdin? What about Aladdin?
Aladdin.
It sucked.
Aladdin was
Thank you. Aladdin's trash.
not the greatest.
Sorry.
No.
That's my favorite Disney movie. Like the original animated, it's my favorite
Right.
Disney
I'm
movie.
not a
so
big
Yeah.
Aladdin fan.
Oh, I love it. We just rewatched it and I love it.
It's been in like every Kingdom Hearts game and it drives me crazy. I'm just done with
Well,
it. I'm done. Make it go away.
Mike, I'll give you your 2 cents. Go ahead.
I mean, there's not much to go by. I mean,
You think
they're
it's
just
better than the original?
no. I'm
Well,
not
that's
saying
the
it.
question.
That's the question. Look, nothing that you say is going to be more controversial than what I'm about to say. So
Nah. It's not going to be the thing. Maybe the thing that Christian Harloff is still in that scene.
yeah, I haven't seen it either.
But not the 2010 or whatever remake
That's
of it, right?
That's like a
It's a prequel?
prequel. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing. No, don't even watch that. Watch the 80s one. I mean, and the original thing is very much a 50s B movie. It's really cheesy.
I guess like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, you could call that kind of a remake, but it's like a different take on the original. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's by far so different than the original. But yeah, that's a good answer too.
Okay, are we ready, Shawn? Go ahead.
All right, here is my actual answer. All right, this one is the actual answer. Beauty and the Beast.
The live action?
The live action Beauty and the Beast is better than the original.
Really?
Yes, it expands on the story much more. It finally gives the Beast a song.
The Beast has a song in the Broadway musical, but it's fine.
That doesn't count.
It's better. The Broadway musical is way
count.
better.
Evermore is also really good, though.
Evermore is very good.
Okay, it gave the Beast a song, which was not in the original. It expanded on Belle's story.
Okay.
It was just, it looks gorgeous. It looks great.
But Emma though.
Emma's fine. Emma's fine.
No,
Emma's fine.
She's auto-tuned in that damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds horrible
Everybody
singing.
else in life.
I don't think anyone sounds good in that movie except for Audrey McDonald, but she's an actor.
I kind of like
song.
the Beast
Or
voice.
Yeah,
It's
I like
weird,
that too.
but I like it.
But that's what you get when you hire actors that aren't singers.
And you get good performances out of them.
Yeah. I think it's fine. Ewan McGregor's good.
Yeah, it's better than the original.
Okay. What's your
And my
controversy?
other one, this might not work because it's not technically a remake, but you could argue that it is. Star Wars The Force Awakens is better than The New Hope.
just going to say.
Star Wars The Force Awakens is better than A New Hope in every single way.
remake.
No, you did not say that.
Yes, it's better than New Hope in every single way, Mike.
It's not.
Name
How is
one
it
way
a
that A New
remake?
Hope is better. Because they do the same thing. It's the same movie.
It's literally the same movie.
But better. It's the same movie, but the characters are more likable and more interesting. Rey is a much more interesting character than Luke Skywalker. Luke is a boring character in A New Hope.
Wow.
Han's death is so much more emotional.
No.
than Ben dying on the... What the fuck do you mean, no? Kylo Ren is a much better villain. A much better character than Darth Vader. Yes! In A New Hope? In A New Hope, Mike.
In A New Hope, yes.
Yes! It is a better version. It does not lag for so long at the beginning on Tatooine.
God.
God's much better pacing.
Oh my god.
The acting is probably about the same level for most of them.
You wouldn't have any other Star Wars outside that
What was the
film.
question? That wasn't the
But it's
question.
not better than it's not better.
It's better. It's better.
It's not better.
Why isn't it better?
This banter right now.
No,
I
actually,
told you.
speaking of Star Wars,
Okay.
let me ask this question to you guys.
Okay.
Yes.
Where do you guys rank The Mandalorian?
Oh, snap.
All right. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. I'm gonna have to add it on the fly because I did not do this. Let me go to my Star Wars film rankings. As of
Wait, are we doing them out of all of them or just the new stuff that has come out?
I'm doing it out of all of them. I'm just
All
about
of
to
them.
read.
Just go for it. All of
I'm
it.
just gonna read my list.
No, don't.
Okay. 10 is Attack of the Clones. Or
Oh
I
my
guess
God.
no, 11. 11 is Attack of the Clones. 10 is Phantom Menace. 9 is Solo. 8 is Rogue One. 7 is Revenge of the Sith. 6 is The Mandalorian.
Really?
That doesn't sound right. Yeah. Then
That
A New
low?
Hope. Yeah, because like it's not done yet.
Okay.
But just
then
based
I
on
knew-
first impressions, I mean, I saw.
Yeah, it'd go about right there for now. Without being finished. That's probably where it goes. Right. Like it's not A New Hope. It's not Star Wars, but like it's cool. It's not like what I like about Star Wars, but it's better than everything else they've done that I don't like about. And then it's A New Hope, then Force Awakens, then Empire, then Return of the Jedi, then Last Jedi. In number 1. But yeah, it's like I like The Mandalorian. I'm really enjoying what it's doing, but it's not the part of Star Wars I like. The part of Star Wars I like is the Force, and they're kind of doing it with Baby Yoda, but not really. It's it's a side thing. It's about the Mandalorians, and I like it, but because of that reason, it'll never go past the original trilogy without until I see it in full. And it probably still won't pass up the original trilogy just because that's Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys?
What about you, Mike? You've seen it, right?
No, he's not seen it. Sarah?
I know. Have you subscribed to Disney Plus yet, Mike, or no?
No.
Sarah, where do you rank it? Is it your favorite Star Wars thing?
I don't know.
Is it better than Attack of the Clones?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yes, but emotionally, no. No, I'm just kidding. So I don't know. I like Star Wars. I appreciate Star Wars. I grew up with the prequels. Those are my Star Wars movies. So, and I just recently watched Return of the Jedi for the first time.
So good. First time? It's so good. It's the best of the original. It's so good.
I love the Ewoks. The Ewoks are great. They're my favorite. Anyway, okay. I don't know. It's hard to say out of overall, but out of the new stuff that has come out, starting with Force Awakens, it's probably my favorite.
You're wrong, but that's okay.
Wow.
Wow, Shawn's so polarizing this episode. Jeez.
I would say it's up against Last Jedi because I really like.
Probably. No, I was totally kidding. It's even if it was, it's fine because there's a lot of people that it is their favorite of the new stuff. I think they're crazy, but that's okay.
Wow, rude.
Yeah,
Well, what's your favorite? The Last Jedi is your favorite?
Yeah. The Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie overall. I think it's the best Star Wars movie.
Really?
Yeah, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley's not the best in Force Awakens. That was also her first acting job, pretty much. So I think she's much better in The Last Jedi. Luke is at his best in The Last Jedi. That's the best Luke has ever been as a character. Got rid of Snoke. Thank fuck. Moved, Poe became an actual character in it. Finn became an actual character in it. Force Awakens is a cool setup. But
okay, maybe Force Awakens is above Last Jedi.
That's fine. Look, I like The Force Awakens. I love it. It's a better version of A New Hope. But
I would I guess I would do Rogue One is bottom, and then
I don't like Rogue One either.
No, I don't understand. Everyone keeps talking that Rogue One is their favorite Star Wars movie.
It is the best out of the rest of them.
The last hour, yes. The rest of it is a hot mess. The beginning of that movie is a hot mess.
Oh, I don't care. I still love it. I still love it.
Look at all the characters that are dying that I don't care about.
But it's action-wise, it's great. But story-wise, it's a hot mess. It makes
best space fight.
And you have to read a book to understand the movie. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. But Ben Mendelsohn's great. I love Ben Mendelsohn and Mads Mikkelsen. And it should have been. Oh yeah, he's great. It should have been Tatiana Maslany instead of Felicity Jones, but it's fine, whatever. Anyway,
doesn't have any character in the movie.
Yeah, well, I love
Cassian Andor is a wasted time.
Anyway, moving on. That's the end.
Are you sure you tried to end it like 3 times?
I really have, but then you guys just keep bringing up more stuff.
Do it this time. Do it.
Okay. Wow.
Do
Okay.
it.
That's going to be the end of our show.
Do it, Sarah.
Maybe, I don't know what's happening. I guess we'll go through all this stuff. Mike, where can the people find you?
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Mixtape. And Shawn and I do a podcast called Into the Grid. It's a Power Rangers podcast. You can follow it on Twitter at Go Into the Grid, and just go to anchor.fm/Into the Grid to listen to it.
Great. What about you, Shawn?
At Shawn_AFK on Twitter. And you can listen to Jay Wade and I do a Mandalorian recap review show every week. Check it out.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they'll talk about how it's the best thing that ever happened to Star Wars. No,
yeah, best thing that ever happened to Star Wars.
Best thing that ever happened.
Besides The Last Jedi,
So, yeah. You can find me on Twitter at SCBock, SSEABOCK. Make sure you go and listen to the SEN Afterlife show as well if you're listening to SEN. They do a great job there. I'm still going?
No, they're still going.
Oh, yeah, we record on the same night, people, so they're still recording.
They have a lot to say. It's a great show. SEN's great as well. We're not competing, it's fine. You can find that show and a bunch of other shows that we do and more shows that we're coming up with. It's great on the Merc with a Movie Blog feed on after. Oh my God, what am I talking about? Merc with a Movie Blog feed on Anchor. There we go. It's been a long day, guys. Have a great holiday. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving and a great Black Friday. May you be blessed with many, many deals and discounts. Amen. Okay. Bye.